Hello everybody, this is Mike from EdgeNote 50 TV, EdgeNote 50 TV, and we're going to be talking about boxing. Hey, there's lots of stuff we're going to be talking about today. You probably see from the title, we're going to be talking about Chris Eubank winning against James DeGale. We're going to be talking about the Gerald Miller Joshua press conference. It's a little bit more calmer than the last one. Also, we're going to be talking about some bits and bobs of the news that's been going around. Krolov Lomachenko's been announced. We're going to talk about Triple G as well and DAZN. It looks like that deal is about to cross the line. So, there's lots of stuff going on in boxing, and I'm going to talk about it. So, let's get cracking. If you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button. If you're liking the show, hit the like button. And also, if you want to follow me in the social media, go on my Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, where you can keep up with all the news and all the boxing that's going on around the world, baby. So, let's get cracking. So, let's talk about Chris Eubank and James DeGale, the card. I'm not going to go into the whole detail. I'm not going to lie, I didn't buy the pay-per-view. I didn't think it was worth me buying it, but I watched it through other means. You guys can guess through other means I'm talking about. And I saw some of the fights. I didn't watch the whole card. I just watched the main ones, to be honest with you. I watched Joe Joyce and DAZN, and I watched DeGale and Eubank. So I'm gonna go talk about that card and talk about what I saw. So first up, let's go and talk about the undercard. Joe Joyce versus DAZN. Let's talk about that. Obviously, Joe Joyce won by TKO. Let's talk about the performance. Joe Joyce, look, he did what he had to do in there. He had to, he done what he had to do. We knew that he was going to win. I was expecting for him to win more emphatically. But I don't. It looked more like a sparring match to me. It looked like they were just sparring, and it looked like they were just having another sparring session rather than Joe Joyce trying to show people what he can do. In the beginning, it was getting caught quite a lot by DAZN in the beginning rounds. Is getting caught, and I'm thinking to myself, well, if that was a better boxer he was facing and he got caught with those kind of shots, then he would be in deep trouble straight off the bat. But then it's difficult to say whether he was getting caught with those kind of shots because he thought he's facing DAZN. Like, I can afford to maybe get hit, or it was because of his weaknesses in his game. And DAZN exploited it. So that's the question that we have to look at in regards to that situation. Now, in regards to Joe Joyce, I'm concerned a little bit based on that performance because he's being trained by Abel Sanchez. People don't know Abel Sanchez. He's the same guy that trains Triple G. I haven't seen the improvements in him from fight to fight that I would like to see him in, so it is a concern. He's not setting up his shots properly. He just seems to be going in. He throws good combinations, but he's not setting up the shots that he needs to. I think that another fighter or, a top level fighter would have got out DAZN a lot quicker. He knocked him down, what was the second or third round? And he could have finished him off, but I don't think he hasn't got the Deontay Wilder power. Yeah, but I think that any elite athlete, I think that Dillian White, Tyson Fury, obviously Wilder, Joshua, I think all those fighters would have finished him a lot sooner, probably within 3 rounds tops. So Joe Joyce has got a lot of work to do. He needs to kind of continue his progress. Let's have a look in the chat. Yeah, hey Hamed92, what's happening? I'll give you a wrench. Anyways, man, look on the chat. 1 second. Man. Yeah, man, give you the wrench. Hey, how's it going, Hamed? How's it going? Yeah, so I think that Joe Joyce, he's not ready for the elite. He's saying he wants to fight Manuel Charr for the WBA regular belt. I think that'll be a good fight for him to do. I think he'll fight for the regular belt. He's saying within the year he would like to fight Luis Ortiz, and he wants to fight the top fighters by the end of the year. He's got a lot of work to do and needs to kind of get his mind in the game a little bit if he wants to fight up those elite levels. You know, if he wants to fight up to those elite level guys, he needs to be on the game mentally a lot quicker. He needs to, he needed to make a statement against Tavern and say, look, Wilder knocked him out in 1 round. Okay, I'm not going to do what Wilder did, but I'm going to look to finish him off quick and do it emphatically. And I don't think he did that in this performance. So, Joe Joyce, he's a talent. But look, this guy's getting old now. He's like, 32 years of age? So it's not like he's got time on his side. So I think he needs to step up the pedal and very quickly if he is to, get to where he needs to be. Him versus Luis Ortiz, I don't even know if he should be fighting that guy anytime soon. But look, at the age that he's at, he has to be thrown in the deep end sooner or later. So, hey, why not? Why not? So, anyway, that's all I'm going to talk about that. If you guys got any comments about it, leave it in the chat and we'll talk about it. So, now let's get to the main event. Let's get to Chris Eubank Jr. and James DeGale. Boy, oh boy. What have I got to say about this one? Well, hey, guys, before I start talking, if you're liking the show, hit that like button. If you're watching this for the first time, hit that subscribe button so more people can be aware of the show. So, yeah, James DeGale and Chris Eubank Jr. God, man, what can I say? It's times like this that I'm happy that I didn't pay for the pay-per-view for this fight. Where should I start? Okay, let's talk about the positives. Yeah? I mean, Chris Eubank, I have to, look, in the preview show I did last week, I predicted that James DeGale was going to beat Chris Eubank Jr. I thought that James DeGale had a little bit more left in him to beat Chris Eubank Jr. because I don't rate him that highly. And I thought that James DeGale would at least pull something out the bag enough to beat Chris Eubank Jr. Boy, was I wrong. And I admit I was wrong. I got the whole thing wrong. I did not anticipate that James DeGale was completely done. I did not anticipate that he was completely finished. It's over. Look, James DeGale, he has not announced his retirement yet, but I'm announcing it for him now. James DeGale is officially going to retire, and I'm going to do his retirement speech right now. It's been a long road. He's done great things. He's won the first fighter to win the Olympic gold medal and to win a world championship before Anthony Joshua did it. So he's made history no matter what. But the time has come for him to retire and go to pastures new. Sell cars, work in B&Q, work in Tesco's, I don't know what, but it's time for you to hang up your gloves and call it a day. Because based on that performance that you did over the weekend, it needs to happen. Announce it today, yesterday, the day before. You need to retire because me and the rest of the boxing fans do not want to see you in the ring again. Simple as that. Simple as that. Chris Eubank Jr. Congratulations to Chris Eubank Jr. He had more desire, more hunger than what DeGale did in that fight. He was fighting like a man that he had to do a game plan. One thing you have to praise Chris Eubank Jr. for is that he had a game plan and he stuck to that game plan throughout the fight. He listened to his trainer and he can tell that the trainer had a great impact on him because he actually listened to the trainer, and he listened because he had no choice. He had to win this fight. He had to do something different, and he had to put tactics in place that was going to ensure that he was going to do the victory, and that's what he did. He was patient. You know what? He kind of did like it was similar to what a Sean Porter would do. He's similar to a Sean Porter kind of fight. He was very patient, waited until it was patient, and he waited until he was patient, and he waited until DeGale threw a jab and he waited, and then when he started throwing a jab and he was a little bit loose with his jab, he countered straight away, swinging and countering and putting the pressure on. So it was very calculated with the pressure, and James DeGale was not able to handle the pressure that Chris Eubank Jr. was doing. So he was very good with the pressure. So in regards to the James DeGale, his jab was terrible. He was holding all night. When Chris Eubank threw him down, I thought he should have thrown him down sooner because he was holding too much. The jab was poor. He could not connect with the jab. I think that when he got hit in the second or third round and he got knocked down, I think he was off his game and he didn't want none of the work. He didn't want none of that work. He was thinking about going to Dubai. His mind wasn't on boxing. He was thinking of going to Dubai, going on holiday, doing all different kinds of things other than boxing. And that's what it looked like in that fight. James DeGale, you know, everything that he had previously, he didn't have it in this fight. Could we say this is a great Chris Eubank performance? Or should we say that this is a terrible James DeGale performance? Hey, let me look at the chat. Yeah, send me a link. Thanks for the wrench. Appreciate it. I'm good, bro. Listening. Yeah, so wait a minute. I'm gonna send a link to you. 1 second. Let me just go into it. Let's have a look. Did it not work? Oh. Anyways, I think I'll send the link anyways, so you guys can jump on. Yeah, so the question is, it comes down to this. It comes down to whether it was a terrible performance by DeGale or a great performance by Chris Eubank Jr. Now, Chris Eubank Jr., he did lots of things well, and I was impressed with him sticking to the game plan, putting on calculated pressure, and he connected James DeGale some good shots. But, you know, let's keep it real, yeah? This was a terrible performance by James DeGale. Terrible performance. Yeah? It was not a good performance from James DeGale at all, and let me have a look. It says not the Hangouts link. Okay, 1 moment. Before I sent the link, this is all right. 1 second. Let me just send this. Let me just try this again. All right. Let me just try and do this. Send this link. Sorry, guys. Waited. Okay. So 1 moment, guys. Just gonna send this link out. Still, you know, sometimes it still takes a little bit of a while for me to get used to this thing. Let's have a look. Yeah, sorry guys, it's taking long for me to get used to this thing. I'm gonna try this link thing again. If it don't work, then I have to just do it another time, man. So let's try this again. For God's sake. Anyways, that's it. Let's try to send it again. So let's see if it works or not. But anyways, yeah, the girl should retire. There was a terrible performance by James the Girl. He's got nothing left in the tank. And, I was expecting somewhat better performance. I mean, considering, let's say, George Groves, his performance against Chris Eubank Jr. totally schooled him, totally dominated, beat Chris Eubank Jr. up. I was expecting James the Girl to do better, and this performance was terrible. It was just a bad performance, and it's sad to see. It's sad to see because, James the Girl, it just shows. Look, and this leads to a bigger issue as well. Like, this leads to a bigger issue. Like, and one person said it. I watched a show, I think on Sky Sports or something, and there was a boxer on there, and he said, look, he looks like someone that don't live the life. And there's a lot of boxers out there that are not living the life. They get a little bit of money in their pocket, and then in between fights, they go on holidays for long trips, blow up in weight, don't do no training, no cardio, no nothing whatsoever. And then as soon as they get back into camp is when there's a fight going on. When the fight gets announced, that's when they go back into camp. You can't be doing this at elite level, man. Like, these boxers need to be a little bit more professional. Like, Chris Eubank Jr., well done, but you needed to get a coach years ago. And James the Girl, you needed to be like, you're a professional boxer. You need to act professional, train, eat, live, breathe, sleep, boxing. Because boxing is going to pay you the bills, man. So I'm just disappointed in this performance. Like, he talked all the talk. He was saying, oh, Chris Eubank Jr., man, he ain't beating me. Yeah, I'm James the Girl, Olympic medalist, blah, blah, blah. And then he comes in the ring and performs like that. Get the hell out of here with all that nonsense. Do you know what I mean? It's just like, I don't know. I don't know about you guys. You can comment in the chat. If you think I'm being too harsh on James the Girl, let me know in the chat. Or let me know in the comments after this, yeah, if I'm being too harsh on him. I just expected more. He's an Olympic gold medalist. He's a 2-time super middleweight champion of the world. I just expected more from him. That's all I expected. So in regards to Chris Eubank Jr., well done. Let's look. Now, James the Girl, he should retire. I think he will retire. I don't want to see him carrying on because it's going to be a sad sight. Him carrying on, there's no point. Retire, whatever. The only reason why James the Girl will continue fighting is if he needs the money. He needs the money, but maybe you shouldn't be going out in Dubai spending all your money, and you should have saved it because this moment was coming. This moment was coming for you. So end of the day, what he does is up to him, but I think he should retire, and I think he will announce his retirement because there's no way, when you lose to Chris Eubank Jr., there's no way moving forward from that. Now, Chris Eubank Jr., where does he go from here? Unfortunately, this means that he is going to be back in the picture again for big fights. There is Callum Smith. Obviously he can go down to middleweight and fight in the middleweight division. I mean, in regards to the money fights are in the middleweight division right now. There's Canelo, Andrade, Billy Joe Saunders has moved. Billy Joe Saunders at middleweight or super middle. That'll be a money fight as well because I know a lot of people want to see that. There's super middle or middleweight. But Canelo Alvarez, obviously, that's the big money fight. Triple G, all the big money fights are in middleweight. So if Chris Eubank is after legacy and the money fights, then middleweight is where he should be. If he wants to try and get a belt, the easiest route to get a belt, probably super middle will be the easiest route to get a belt in. But it's not where the big money fights will be at. So it just depends on what Chris Eubank Jr.'s mindset is and what he wants to do going forward in regards to making a name and a statement for himself in the middleweight division. But he's made good progress with the new trainer. But I don't think that performance was good enough to challenge anybody in super middle or or in middleweight division. Yeah. So actually, moving on to the next one. Hey, Boxing Killers TV. Hey, you guys been watching Hearn Espinosa Twitter war at the moment? Yep, I'm gonna be talking about that as well. I'm gonna be talking about that as well. So keep watch this space. But oh, who's on? Who's this? Hey, Dan the man.
Yo, what's happening, man?
Yay. Hey, I'm good. I'm good. How's it going for you?
Busy, man. You know, trying to get through my everyday life over here.
Ah, that's good. It's good. It's good. Hey, man. You know what? I just been finished talking about Chris Eubank and James DeGale. So, that fight. So, what is your opinion on that fight? Did you see it, or if you did see it, what's your opinion on it?
I did see the fight, and I was a bit surprised to an extent because we both know that Chris Eubank doesn't, doesn't come through when it comes to big fights. So
Yeah.
I'm sure I know he was, he was the betting odds. He was a slight favorite to beat DeGale, but some of us is like, well, we don't think he has the temperament, I should say, or the maturity to come through with a fight like this because I know it's dubbed as a crossover fight, Eubank and DeGale, because of the fact that, Eubank, I mean, not Eubank, I'm sorry, DeGale is at his last leg, obviously. Eubank, obviously he doesn't, people feel that he doesn't really have anything left in the fact that he bombed in his two big fights, once against Groves, the other one is against the Saunders. So, yeah, but I was shocked that it wasn't competitive as I thought it would be. Eubank completely wiped out DeGale. I just couldn't see. I looked at that fight. I was trying to be fair to James DeGale, see what round I could give him. But I think Eubank won that fight by like a long mile, to be honest with you. I thought he won that fight from the start to the end. He swept the fight. I think he pitched a shutout, in my opinion. I know some judges gave James DeGale, excuse me, some judges gave James DeGale the benefit of the doubt, but to me, I thought he won. He lost that fight completely.
Yeah, man. I wasn't happy. Especially this is the thing. When you're talking the talk, as much as what DeGale did in the pre-fight build-up, then you must come into the fight with a better performance than what he did. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Right.
like you was talking all the talk, is giving it the big un, and then when the fight happened, he just didn't produce anything, nothing at all. Like,
No, he didn't. Yeah. I think what it is that and I hate to bring up low plays. I might have to agree with him. This is one of the things I do have to agree. After that Bottle Jack fight, I think DeGale really was didn't have nothing left after that fight because it took a lot out of him. Oh man, the fight what he had with Eubank, his timing was way off. He couldn't get the jab going. His reflexes wasn't there. So it's like he was completely shot. So it's like. You could tell from his one of his previous fights with Caleb Truax, the rematch fight, I should say. So, yeah, I just think that it's not like he tried. I think he tried, just that he really didn't have nothing left out the beatings that he took. After the Bottle Jack fight. So, like I said, we all probably can agree to with the consensus that he's done. There's nothing left for Miguel. I think he should just call it a day. He has nothing left. He can't compete no more. Eubank, I know he's going to run around with that IBO title, so we'll see where he goes from here because I know Saunders is moving up to super middleweight. Maybe we can get that rematch, so we'll see. Get a unification for the WBO and the IBO title, so we'll see.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's the only interesting fight to see Chris Eubank Jr. in against someone like Billy Joe Saunders. That's a money fight. I think both of them are looking for big money fights now. And I think that fight will be big money in the UK pay-per-view, and I think people will be interested in that fight still. But like James DeGale, like I said before, I don't know if you heard me earlier, but I gave a eulogy to James DeGale, and I said to him, look, he's ripped to his career. His career's done, and I announced his retirement for him because he didn't say it yet, so I announced his retirement on his behalf.
Hey, you know what? It's safe to say he's retired at this point. It's unofficial, but yeah, it's just safe to say I'll be amazed. I'll be surprised if he does come back for another big fight. I'm sure some of his handlers are gonna look at it and say, "Nah, man, you got nothing left. Nothing left." A prime James DeGale would have beaten Chris Eubank. Let's be real. A prime James DeGale would have beaten him, but This is the form DeGale was completely shot, had nothing left in the tank. He just done. Maybe his mentality was telling him the same thing. It's like, dude, let's just survive the whole fight as you can and get it one big payday and you're gone. You know, you can fall off to something else, do commentary or something, or be a boxing coach, do something, afterwards, because you made a lot of money, you got one big payday, so it's nothing left. You don't really have to risk your health anymore. So yeah, I mean, the one thing you can say about DeGale, he's always been overconfident, so.
Yeah, man, yeah, look, I don't mind overconfidence. It's like, if you got the talk, you just got to back it up, or at least attempt to. Do you know what I mean? That's what I was a little bit down, because I didn't think he tried enough. He did enough. And I think you're right in regards to the Badou Jack fight. When you're taking punishment like he did in the Badou Jack fight, then it makes you a little bit wary about trying to get into deep trenches again. Do you know what I mean? Because his face got brutalized. And when I can see in the fight against Chris Eubank Jr. that it was very tentative, and he didn't really want to get hit. Like, do you know what I mean? Because he was worried about like getting hit, like the same as So I can understand that. But if you're afraid of getting in the trenches, you need to get out. Do you know what I mean?
Right, exactly. I agree.
So
you do.
Yeah. Do you have any last words on the fight, or final words before we go to move on to?
I mean, like I said, it was a bit surprising the way he got dominated. I expected it to be a competitive fight. That's not what we got. I mean, even though there are some rounds that were competitive, but all I can say is that, Chris Eubank, I think this is some bit of a confidence booster in a way, because there were some people who didn't think he was going to come through in this fight. Let's be real. Some people didn't like myself. I didn't think he was going to come rise to the occasion in a way. So I think it's going to be a confidence booster. I do agree to some of the commenters that this is somewhat of redemption for him. So I like to see him, to have that confidence going against Billy Joe Saunders in the rematch, if we can get that rematch going, because I think that's the only logical fight we can get at super middleweight right now. I mean, Caleb Plant is there, but I think we can hold off on Caleb Plant until we can get the Billy Joe Saunders and Chris Eubank rematch. So I think if Eubank can get through that rematch, I think, okay, now he's got full redemption. You know what I mean? He's got full redemption of his career. So as far as James DeGale's concerned, like I said, pack it in, James DeGale, man. You don't have nothing left, brother. I like you, but let's call it a day, man. You maintain your health. You got all your millions of dollars. Fall back on something, So that's all I got to say about James.
Yeah, I agree. Let me just go in the chat quickly. Hey, Boxing and Blunts, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the show. And also, we've got someone else, another guest on as well. Unrivaled Boxing. Hey, how's it going?
What's up, Edge? What's up, Dan? How's it going, lads?
What's happening, brother?
Yes, we're good, man. We're just talking boxing. James DeGale, Chris Eubank Jr. I was gonna switch the subject, but I just saw you just before we was about to move subject. So, do you have any words on Chris Eubank before we move on to the next subject on James DeGale?
Even if people want to say DeGale was shot, the one thing I'll say about Eubank, and this will stand him in good stead for the rest of his career, is that was the most patient performance he's ever had. That was incredibly patient. Very patient and very methodical.
Right, I agree, because he actually was able to pace himself a lot better. He was able to pick his shots out correctly rather than rushing it in. Like in the George Groves fight.
He was working things off of the jab, which astonished me.
Right. So, I guess it goes to show he's got a proper boxing coach this time. So, so I guess that probably is telling, in my opinion.
Yeah, and that's something that I was very impressed with Chris Eubank Jr. in regards to he stuck to a game plan, and I think he had to. I think you don't hire a coach, let him move into your apartment, train with him for 6-7 months, just for you to abandon everything that he's taught you. Do you know what I mean? It don't make no sense. And I'm assuming he's paying this coach as well. So, at least he had to try the game plan and see if it works. And I think that now he's seen that when you have a game plan, you stick to it, it works. I think it will be an encouraging for him moving forward to his next fight. So that's what I would say in regards to that. Hey, so we're moving on to the next one. Did you guys see what was it? Durrell? I didn't see that fight. Did you guys see it?
No, I didn't see that fight, but I heard it was controversial. Some people felt that Durrell got a gift decision over him. I mean, mind you, this is the same guy that Chris Eubank Jr. blasted out in 4 rounds.
Yeah.
And Durrell struggled with the guy. So I guess that that I guess that does tell something about Yildirim, when Yildirim and his pedigree in a way. I'm not saying he's a great fighter, but if Andy Durrell struggled against this guy, and he's a much bigger and natural guy, and he couldn't get out Yildirim out of like Eubank Jr. did, so that is telling about Durrell, about what he can do. So, and to be fair though, I don't really rank Anthony Durrell as I mean, he is a decent fighter, don't get me wrong, but after the Badu Jack fight and him fighting these other lower tier oppositions like Abraham Hahn and these guys, a natural 154-pound guy, I don't know about Anthony Durrell, man. It's just like, okay, you got the title win. I'm not sure if he can, compete against the, the likes of the David Benavidez or even the Caleb Plant. I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure if he can win those fights, So
or Callum Smith even.
Or Callum Smith, yeah. I forgot about Callum Smith, yeah. Or Callum Smith. So, yeah, I'm not sure, man. I'm not sure about Anthony Durrell. But I have to look at that fight. For what I've heard, it was controversial. Some people felt that he lost. He got a gift. So, yeah, that's just my take on it.
I thought it was close. I gave it to Anthony by about a point. But it was close. It was close.
Yeah,
Okay.
well, quick, I was going to mention the crack. Yeah, Hamid. Let's mention it quite quickly. Hamid, yeah, I sent the link a couple of times, but I don't know why it's not working for you, because obviously, Dan the Man, it worked for him, and Unrivaled Boxing, it worked for him as well. So I don't know why it's not working for you. I don't know. Maybe those guys can help you get on the chat.
What I did was I clicked the link that's not working for Hamid, and it worked for me.
Oh, you're a funny guy.
That's the truth, though. That's the truth, Hamid. Like, if it's not working for you, it's on your end. It's not on Edge's end, because it's working for us.
Yeah, so it might be. So yeah, exactly. So it might be something to do with your one. Maybe reboot your phone or something. I don't know, but yeah, it definitely works. Because obviously both Dan and Unrivaled they got on. So Margaret, did you watch the fight or?
You asking me or Dan?
Yeah. No. I'm asking you. Did you watch the fight? The Durrell and Yildirim fight.
Well, I just said that I gave it to Durrell by about a point.
Oh, okay.
It was a little bit controversial for some people. I thought it was a fair result, in all honesty, but that's because I prefer people who land more punches than the other guy. Like Yildirim was the aggressors, and I can see why some people would score some rounds to him. You know what I mean? But for me, it was just Durrell, and yeah, I'll agree with Dan. I think Anthony Durrell is world level, but at the bottom tier of world level. Do you know what I mean? I don't think he's good enough to string together 4 or 5 title defenses against decent opponents or anything like that. If he was against the Caleb Plant, I'd see him losing. If he was against, as Katsugi would beat him as well. Cam Smith would beat him. And I'll be honest with you, I think a very good fight would actually be him against Eubank Jr. I think that'd be a very, very, very tough fight for Durrell.
I think so too. I agree.
Yeah, I think I agree. I agree with that one. I agree with that. I don't know if Chris Eubank will go for that. I mean, I think he's got world titles. I think he should go for it. But
he doesn't have a world title.
Was
that for a vacant belt? That fight, Durrell.
That was for the. No, Durrell has Durrell is the WBC champion, the vacant WBC champion.
Yeah, Durrell's the WBC champion. Oh, that's what you're saying. Okay, yeah, because Eubank got the IBO belt, which is not a recognized belt. So
although Dan, to be fair, I can make this claim: Eubank is technically the lineal IBF champion.
He has never been IBF champion.
Because the Gale never lost his belt. He won in the rematch against... Yeah, but he's still technically the lineal in some retrospects by beating the champion.
It's the IBF champion, okay.
All right. Hey, do you know what? Let's
different discussion.
You know what, man? I hate Tyson Fury for bringing up this lineal stuff now. Everyone's gonna start doing it.
What do you mean? What do you mean, Tyson Fury for bringing up the? It was fucking Jeffries who brought up the original talk of it back in the days of fucking Jack Johnson, man, because he retired.
Yeah,
because that's when it all originated from.
In a way, it
All
did
right.
because because people didn't, the newspaper, the writers didn't want to recognize Jack Johnson as the lineal world heavyweight champion. So that's why
Well,
they
it
banked
wasn't just Jack Johnson; it was also Hart. You know what I mean? It was actually Hart who won it first, and they didn't recognize him and then Johnson destroyed him, and they wouldn't recognize Jack Johnson, and then Jack Johnson fucked the shit up of Jim Jeffries, and then he was recognized. So,
Right. Yes, Marvin
All
Hart.
right.
Yeah, Marvin.
Sorry,
Yeah.
guys. Let's go in the chat. Aobs has just arrived. Hey, Aobs, how's it going? Welcome to the chat. Hey, so let's talk about Brandon Rios and Soto. Did anyone watch that?
Oh man, I watched that fight. That was just grotesque to watch that. I mean, Humberto Soto looks like a prehistoric dinosaur. No disrespect, but
Yeah.
this dude was getting off his combinations. He was looking like the younger fighter against Brandon Rios. Brandon Rios looks like always been a shot fighter, but he looked completely shot. Couldn't do anything. And I'm like, okay, oh my god, it was just like painful to watch Brandon Rios. He was just getting hit all over the place, and he's always been a human punching bag, but still, that's probably the worst I've ever seen this guy get hit in his career. I mean, he was getting hit all over the place, and mind you, Humberto Soto is a very hard punching guy. He hits very hard. So, but I guess
he
it
has
was.
like he has like over 35 knockouts or something, like 36,
Yeah,
37 knockouts.
He wins out of 40 knockouts or something like that. Yeah, the dude hits very hard. Well, of course, he was a very light, a natural lightweight or little guy, and they fought at a catch weight, 100, slight middleweight or something like that. So, but still, though, it's like, yeah, Brandon Rios, man, I don't know, man. This is one of those guys, like, either he's fighting to collect the paycheck at this point. It's not about titles for him right now. He needs to call it a day, man, because he's getting really hit all the time. It could be detrimental for him and his health in the long run,
Okay.
I mean,
go on.
yeah, I mean, losing to Humberto Soto at this stage of Soto's career, nah, you're done. Like, Soto's like, not to be fair, like, Soto, like, he has gotten some wins, but they're against a lot of guys no one knows over the last few years. But he's racked together quite a few losses in his career. Like, although I think he's only had 2 losses in his last, like, 20 fights or something like that.
Right. Yeah, but like I said, they're all against regional opposition, a bunch of nobodies. So,
but when he steps up and when he fought against Matisse, he quit. And when he fought against Orozco, the guy who lost to Ramirez last year in the Fight of the Year candidate, he lost to him.
Right.
But other than that, he's beating guys like Wilfredo Buelves and stuff like that, and Mahoney.
Unknown guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's have a look at the chat. Aobs says, I'm scared for Rios' health. I think he'll be eating through a straw in a few years. I mean, to be honest with you, I've been scared for Rios' health for a long time. This guy's been a human punching bag for most of his career. I just don't like watching him fight. He just gets on my nerves. If I was his coach, I'll be like, I'll be ripping my hair out. Like, I'll be like, head movement, head movement, head movement. I swear to God, this guy scared. This guy scares me. I don't know, like, he's. I don't know. One thing I can rate him for bravery, like, he goes in knowing his face is gonna get pummeled for 12 rounds. He goes in, he knows it. Do you know what I mean? It takes balls. It takes balls, But yeah, anyways, that's all. I didn't see the fight. I knew it was on Sky, but I just had no interest in it at all.
Are the only people who ever stopped Rios, Garcia and Bradley?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, Bradley and Garcia, those are the only 2 that's ever stopped him in his career. Yeah, those are the only 2 fighters.
Because I know he went the distance with Manny.
Yeah, he did.
People hailed him for that, So.
All right, so let's if you're gonna got last words on that, if not, we'll just move on to Joshua Miller press conference. Actually, let's look unbiased and biased boxing talk. What's happening? Welcome to the show. Boxing Killers TV says Joe Joyce versus Dominic Brazil. Good fight, no defense. PBC. Yeah, that'll be a good fight down the line, but I doubt that'll happen anytime soon. Dominic Brazil looks like it's gonna be fighting Deontay Wilder next, which I predicted last year. Like I knew that. I'm not surprised at all that fight is gonna happen. But yeah, anyways, let's go to the Joshua Miller press conference. That's actually a heavyweight fight that has been announced. Actually, the only heavyweight fight really that has been announced this year. Really, I mean, like big heavyweight fight.
Well, yeah, lightweight fight, yeah. But as far as you mean significant one? Yeah, that's the only one so far.
Fight. Yeah. So what do you guys think of the UK press conference? It wasn't as
It wasn't the fireworks. I mean, it was kind of. I'm not sure. I mean, it was okay. I guess it wasn't quite interesting like the first one. So
I thought it was interesting for a whole different reason.
Why was that?
Why is that?
Miller got really quiet today, didn't he?
Well, because he's in the UK, he's got to restrain himself. He knows he's in different territory.
Yeah, but Joshua looks lit. Joshua looks lit. He looks raring for this, man. Yeah, I don't mean angry. I mean he looks confident. Like very confident.
Yeah, he's a very confident guy. He does have a temper too. So, that's one to be Anthony Joshua. He's one of those guys who has that quiet tempers. He looks like the type of guy who doesn't get upset, but he does get upset easily. He's a very
he's the type of guy who's like, who are you trying to step to? This is my fucking place. I'm giving you the paycheck. I'm the one who's making you a fucking name. Show some respect. You know what I mean?
Right. Right. But, Big Baby trying to rattle guys in his, he's known to rattle guys in their head. So, I mean, maybe he's got to Joshua's head, maybe for the wrong reasons.
I don't think he's gotten to him at all. I think Joshua's just going to focus on punishing him. I don't think this is going to be Joshua's going to come out and try to fight like he did with White. I see him picking Miller off constantly and really fucking him up.
I think he's gotten under Anthony Joshua's skin, but in a different way. But I don't think it's going to be in the same way, like in regards to the Dillian White fight where he lost control in certain parts of that fight. I think he understands that he's more experienced, more seasoned, and I think in there he's just going to make sure he's going to put serious damage on Jarrell Miller. I think pissing Joshua off is probably not the best move. He should have really been nice and put Joshua in a vulnerable position, making it think it's easy. Because most of the times when the top fighters lose is mainly when they feel like they mainly in fights that they should have won. Do you know what I mean? When Lennox Lewis got knocked out against, what was it, Hasim Rahman? That was a fight that he should have won. Do you know what I mean? And then he lost. So if Miller kept quiet, stayed like he would have lost, and then made Joshua overconfident, then maybe he would have a chance to pull a surprise.
Well,
you know what I
mean? Yeah, let me comment on that. Just a stark difference between the Rockman and Lewis fight and Joshua and Miller fight. Difference is Rockman wasn't the guy who was trying to rattle Lennox Lewis in many ways, as bad as Miller did. He wasn't doing that. Lennox Lewis didn't take this guy seriously. He thought it was just an easy walk in the park.
That's why
he didn't properly train for that fight. He thought, he had other distractions going on in his life as well documented. He was distracted with a lot of things. He didn't take that guy seriously, and that's when he got knocked out. But as far as Joshua takes Miller very seriously, but he doesn't like the dude because he felt he's disrespected him too long. So those are two different fights right there. So I don't think Joshua's going to approach this fight like Lennox Lewis did against Rockman. But however, if he fights with too much anger and aggression, that could be detrimental because Big Baby Miller can absorb his shots very well. What can he do? What's Joshua's going to do after that mentally? He's hitting with his best shots. If Big Baby Miller takes it very well and he keeps coming forward, pressuring him, what's Joshua going to do? How's he going to react to that? That's the question we need to see. Yeah, that's the question we have to wait for.
Exactly.
Go ahead. Sorry.
And that's going to be interesting to see, down the line when that fight actually happens, how Miller's going to cope, how Miller's going to, if he can do effective pressure like he's been doing with previous opponents, and how AJ will be able to handle the pressure. But the key thing is we'll know if Miller's the real deal when he lands, because AJ will land on Miller, and I think he'll land on Miller early. He'll land on Miller early, and then we'll see how Miller takes those punches. Because Bogdan Dinu was able to connect with Jarrell Miller very early on in the fight. And AJ's a harder puncher. So if AJ connects with him with harder punches earlier on in the fight, if he's able to carry on moving forward, then okay, this is going to be a long night. But if he gets hurt and then he goes back straight away, then it's going to end up being a quick night. So it just depends on how he can handle it. That's why it's an interesting fight, And I think, and also we can't forget that Jarrell Miller's fighting in his hometown, and and that brings more pressure. It brings more pressure, but it makes you fight over fight. Do you know what I mean? Like, what do you call it? You know,
Well, look, if you're fighting in your backyard and you have your hometown, you have your family watching you, it does give you some bit of spiritual confidence. You know what I mean?
it gives you that little bit, makes you fight that a little bit extra.
Yeah, it can give you a little bit overconfident too, because you're not fighting up in front of a hostile crowd. You're not in foreign territory, so that gives you some play of ease. Now, Joshua, this is his first time fighting outside of his out of his own territory, so he could possibly, I'm just saying possibly, because half of his British fans are going to come watch him fight, but he's going to be facing some bit of hostility as well. So from some of the American fans, so he's in different territory. So it'll be interesting to see how he's coped with that situation. And don't get it twisted. I think Joshua's going to win this fight. I think he's going to knock out Big Baby Miller probably no more than 8 rounds, in my opinion. Yeah. But, if he doesn't knock him out, I expect him to outbox him from long range. I see that happen. I see those two different scenarios.
Definitely. Hey, guys, if you're watching this for the first time, hit the subscribe button, EdgeNote 50 TV, to watch more of the shows. If you're liking the show, hit that like button. Gives more visibility to the show. We're on fire right now. EdgeNote, Dan the Man, and Unrivaled Boxing, giving you all the latest. Yeah, man. So, look, like, Miller, yeah, he was in the UK, so he wasn't, like, swearing. And plus, I think that Sky Sports spoke to him a little bit and said, try not to swear too much, and try to behave yourself a little bit better in the UK. And I think that's why he was a little bit more PC in there. And I think he kind of hinted it in the press conference when he said that, was it Adam Smith? He doesn't like it when we're swearing too much. So I think Adam Smith had a little bit of a chat with him, and that's why he came in a little bit more PC and trying to choose his words.
Yeah, I was going to say that, because after that Wilder and Fury first press conference in London with BT Sport, they were like, yeah, we can't have that type of hostility. So you got to keep it quiet. Keep it contained, I should say.
yeah, exactly. And also as well, Sky Sports got a lot of heat for because when they were doing it on the live stream, it was beeping out a lot of stuff. So people were complaining about it a lot. So as a result of that, they were like, well, we can't have that again. So so I think that's part of what's happened as well. So,
oh, come on, man. We're all adults. This is boxing, man.
I know, but I know that, but it's like Sky Sports and also UK is different. They won't allow like too much swearing on TV, and they will beep things out a lot, which is why I didn't watch the Sky Sports one. I watched the DAZN one because I wanted to hear all the swearing, all the violence.
I'll be perfectly honest with you, yeah? I don't understand how Sky can rate boxing 18 plus and then complain about bad language.
Yeah, I know. I just don't understand that, man. It's just
I don't get. You have zero rights to do that. It's 18 plus and it's 18 plus for a reason.
Yeah. I mean, exactly. But I don't know. They're very keen to kind of keep things PC, because when you're watching stuff on YouTube, kids can watch it and things like that. So I think they're just wary all around to not have too much swearing and stuff. I think the UK is more stricter and all that kind of stuff than maybe the US. So, but anyways, if not, you can watch it on DAZN, and DAZN is the unedited version where you can listen to all the swearing and stuff. So that's why I watched it on, just because I didn't want to listen to no beeping or any like cut-offs and things like that. But yeah,
because that destroys that actually kills the interest, the excitement level for the fight. If you're gonna bleep out all the profanity, it's like, come on, people like to hear that. People like to hear controversial words. Because controversy sells fights, man. That's the way it is. That's why we're so used to the United States. That's why we gravitate more towards the villains than the good guys.
Exactly.
That's
exactly. Let's have a look at the chat. Hey, if you guys got any comments about what we're talking about, you can leave your comments in the chat. Let's have a look at what people are saying. Boxing Killers TV. What is the boss? That one already. Ayob says, I apologize for Ortiz for saying Joyce would beat him. What was I thinking? Yeah. Oh yeah, Ayobs. What was you thinking? I'm only joking, Ayobs. Boxing Killers TV. Bacoli versus Wack was announced. Good fight for Martin. Ayob saying AJ gonna jab Miller's nose off and drop right hands from hell. Yep, probably. Today's presser was trash. It was real boring. Yeah, I mean, look, I think, to be honest with you, I thought it was good still, but I didn't, obviously, not compared to the first one. Last one was like off the chain. This one wasn't as good, but yeah. So Boxing Killers TV, who won, Espinosa or Hearn? So Boxing Killers TV is talking about the Twitter beef that erupted between Stephen Espinosa and Eddie Hearn in regards to allegations that Espinosa said he sent a contract to Eddie Hearn about the 50 million. And Eddie Hearn just came out and said that's a straight, blatant lie. He's saying Espinosa's lying.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And he's came out to Espinosa saying, and he said, I spoke to Eddie Hearn. He said he spoke to his. I can hear echoing. Who's got the echoing on?
That's probably me.
Oh. Yeah, so Eddie Hearn said it's like he spoke to his team, he spoke to his management, he spoke to AJ and said, is the contract being sent? He said no. And he said he challenged Espinosa to show proof of the contract and show proof of the email that you're supposed to have allegedly sent me with the contract. So Eddie Hearn has come out real strong on this. And he's kind of completely denied it and actually said Stephen Espinosa is a liar. He's a bloody liar. I added the bloody bit, but you know what I'm saying. So,
yeah, I hear you. That's kind of hard.
Yeah, exactly. So what do you guys think about this? Did you guys hear about this, or what's your opinion on it?
Just first heard about it right now. So, I mean, look, if Espinosa is going to come out and say that and then he doesn't back it up, that looks very bad. So that's all I got to say. I mean, he's saying that he's admit that I've sent it over. And he has denied it unless he can find some email chain that he sent it over, that he could forward over to the writers or sports writers, whoever it is. Then Espinosa backed up his claim, and Eddie Hearn looks very bad. So we'll have to wait and see in the coming days if he can produce the evidence. You know.
I mean, you guys probably know I've always been on the side of Eddie Hearn in regards to this situation. I didn't believe the 50 million offer was real in the first place. I don't believe that they sent the contract. They never sent the contract. And Espinosa saying he sent the contract, which I don't believe, because why Espinosa send a contract when it should be Shelley Finkel and his team sending contracts? So all this doesn't make no sense to me. But who knows? Like I say, Eddie Hearn wouldn't come out on TV and say he's blatantly lying. Like, he's coming out very strong saying, Espinosa, you're lying, and I want you to show me proof of the email that you sent with the contract. Because that's a lie. Do you know what I mean?
And Espinosa's going to have to produce the evidence. I gotta be fair.
And Eddie Hearn is challenging, and Eddie Hearn normally, like, you don't go that strongly. Do you know what I mean? You'll say whatever, but now he's come out challenged Espinosa to come out and back up what you're saying. So if Espinosa doesn't back up what he's saying, then Espinosa's gonna look silly. Do you know what I mean? So I believe Eddie Hearn in regards to this situation. I'm sick of tired of talking about this 50 million. I know it's a publicity stuff anyway. So I just need some of these people just hang on to this 50 million like it was like, like they saw the money, like they saw it. I'm like, show me the money. I didn't see it.
Let's touch up on that a little bit. Not the 50 million, but there's a recent comments that Joshua made on the Breakfast Club, and I'm surprised no one has even touched up on this except for me in a chat a second ago. Yeah. Joshua came out and said, "Look, blame me and Deontay Wilder for why this fight didn't happen." He's taking partial blame for why it didn't happen. So, and I actually respect Joshua for saying that, because I've been saying that for a long time, even though I felt that Joshua's team is doing more of the stalling. But at the end of the day, I say they're both responsible for why this fight didn't happen. Joshua said, look, the reason why it didn't happen, maybe it's my fault, and maybe it is his fault. There's some things he didn't like, and there's some things I should have done to work harder to make that fight happen. This is what he told the Breakfast Club. So I just want to know what your thoughts on that.
I think it's good for him to say that, because it's true. It wasn't all one side and it wasn't all the other side. I think it came down to both of them. Both of them, if they wanted to make the fight, they could have made the fight. Joshua could have conceded in some areas. Wilder could have conceded in some areas, and they both could have done better to attempt to make the fight happen. So I appreciate Joshua coming out and saying that in public. But this is the thing with Joshua. Joshua, he's not. He's very diplomatic in regards to these things. If he does wrong, he's not ashamed to come out and say, "Do you know what? I could have maybe done better with this. I could have done better with that." Do you know what I mean? And that's one thing I respect about AJ in regards to that. In regards to I agree with that.
saying. I actually respect him more for saying that. I'm like, you know what? I actually appreciate that. It's like, dude, he's admitted that he's taking partial blame for it. Not many fighters do that. you know?
Exactly. Just EJ Boxing is on, guys. Hey, AJ, what's going on?
What's up? He gloves off. AJ said the virus, yeah. You see, Big Baby, if they get a knife and cut you in half, yeah, eight pieces, they see the virus going all the way through your body. The virus. Listen, bro, have you heard it? On the gloves off, AJ goes to work.
I saw the preview.
The virus. AJ goes. The virus goes for all of your part of your body. Big Baby's head was gone. Man said he's a virus, like the disease. I think he said disease. He didn't say virus. I think he said disease. He says disease cover goes all the way through your body. He's like, yo, AJ. I think AJ's working some juju. He's working some Nigerian juju on him, innit? Just to do Big Baby in that. But you guys.
Hey, have you guys seen? I put the preview clips on my social media, on my Facebook and thing. So what did you guys think of it?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
AJ got the better of him. What do you think, Dan? Have you seen it?
Dan and Rival.
Which one? Where the gloves are off? I haven't seen it yet. Nah.
Yeah, it's bad, man. It's AJ.
I gotta check that out.
It's really good, man. AJ comes to, but the clip I heard he didn't even finish. Eddie Hearn said, I think they got in, this Big Baby couldn't take it. And I think he must have charged it. You know, he's a rhino, innit? He must have charged the AJ at some point.
It's kind of like Jazor and Dillian White part one, first fight. I mean,
yeah, I think that was the USA one. The USA one is when Miller walked out, and the UK one, I think they stayed and they did the whole thing. Let's go okay. Let's gonna go to the chat quickly. Who won, Espinoza or Hearn? Eddie Hearn won that one. He called out Espinoza and he's challenged him to show evidence. If Espinoza doesn't show no evidence, then obviously Espinoza's lost that one. Hamed92 says Hearn. Boxing Killers TV. Espinoza talking to McCracken to steal EJ. I don't think so, because I don't think Showtime has got the money. Like, ESPN is spending big money. DAZN is spending big money. We're gonna talk about DAZN in a second with Triple G and what's going on there. So that's got they're spending a lot of money. Aobs is saying relax, EJ. I know he's saying that you come out all hype. But I mean, the gloves are off. AJ, man, he's spitting fire. Like, this AJ, this is the new AJ 2.0 we're seeing right now. Like, you know, what are you guys thinking about the AJ 2.0 what we're seeing?
I actually like him, and I like it. I like him being a little more aggressive. I like excuse me, eat my food here, but
yeah. Go on, eat your food, and I'll continue chatting.
That's okay. No, it's okay. I got it now.
Right.
Yeah, I like this new aggression that he has right now. You know, and that's what we need. That's something he needs, and that's something the heavyweight division needs. You know, I mean, we need somebody who's not willing to take shit from anyone. If he knows he's disrespected, you gotta stand up for yourself. You know what I mean? So I think this is what we need, that aggression from AJ, because some people called him soft, for a long time now, and I'm sure that's got to him. So he's like, nah, I'm not a softie, dude. Fuck all that. You know what I'm saying? I don't tolerate people. I'm no longer tolerating the fact that people call me soft, this, that, and the third. I'm scared of this guy. I'm scared of that guy. Forget all that. You know what I'm saying? This is me. If you want to see the real me, you're going to get that in the ring. Straight up. So, yeah, I respect that. I admire that. You know, I mean, it's something that I actually like this version of AJ, to be honest with you.
Yeah, do you know what? I agree. What is AJ? What do you think?
AJ, I don't like it.
You don't like it, no?
No. You see, the thing is, what age I like AJ's selling point at a certain point. Thing now, he's just being. To be fair to me, that guy's dragged him into the gutter, and he's dragged him in there. And Big Baby's happy bringing the guy down the aisle like a dirty rat. And AJ's in the sewage, and you can see in his face, he's got like spots on his face of the stress of it. But AJ feels like this is a spiritual battle with this guy is talking vicious stuff of me, and AJ's feel, well, if he's gonna say stuff to me, I'm gonna say stuff on him. But that's not AJ's character. AJ doesn't like to say stuff like that. his motto was being humble. That's what got him where he is so far. And because this guy was, I mean, Klitschko was on the same thing, you know, and no one could really blame AJ for doing it. But I just think to myself, you know, with Big Baby Miller there, like he's drawing you to, and he's drawing you right into what he's doing. And I think AJ might make mistakes and get hurt because there's no win. Big Baby has nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? So he's gonna just say anything, can be anything, and after the day, no one's gonna remember. But you're the one with everything to lose. And the way you called him, you said you used the word shit, you know, and you said you're gonna disfigure his face permanently and do that. That's way left. So from what I imagined that AJ, I mean, I would have liked him to do it to Parker that way because Parker did say some to me. They said he's mentally weak, and I think that was called for in that thing. I thought, nah, if he went at him like that, I was like, yeah, of course. But at the same time, the guy said something about his mum. And even though it wasn't face to face, he heard about it. Naturally, AJ's trying to defend, but it doesn't look natural for him. He's doing it because he feels like this is what I need to get back at these people because all these people now, they're attacking me. They think I'm this. But why? Who gives a fuck how they think? Like, no one's sitting down and saying, bruh, you're the champ. They have to do that because they're insecure and they have to do that because they're selling tickets and no one's hearing it. All they're hearing you believe, all is it looking at you is they're trying to say, well, look, this is how he really is. And like, so now people judge you even more. You know what I'm saying? So it's not even about Big Baby no more. People are like, look, see, I told you, look who he is. So it's like someone's calling you mad. Every day someone calling you mad and you start to react away. And now they go, oh yeah, he might be mad still. So I feel like Big Baby is manipulating him, and I don't really like it. But I understand it. But in some way, is this gonna affect AJ in the ring? I believe so. It will, in my opinion.
All right, Unrivaled. What
can I ask EJ? Can I ask EJ a quick question on his points there, real quick?
All right.
If we go back to, we all remember the DAZN like press release, the original DAZN like launch, the launch of DAZN. And Big Baby and AJ, they got into like a little bit of an altercation, if you want to call it. And we've seen AJ like react really aggressively, saying, "I'll slap the shit out of you. I'll slap you in your face. Like, come over here and I'll slap the taste out your mouth." Right? He was saying all this shit. Do you think AJ is still angry over that because Miller tried to hog the limelight away from Anthony? EJ, because I do personally.
I don't think it was that. I think it was Povetkin press conference. Yeah, he tried to hug the light and jumped in, but at the same time, I just feel like the AJ's all about being respectful. AJ's like a Mayweather thing. They trying to control every aspect of what's going on. So that was something he wasn't expecting, and because of that happened, it caught him off guard. He felt like he had to defend it, but I think it's not really hog. Like, I think it's the idea that this guy is attacking him And so look, I can put it like this. You see, if you're a boxing match, you understand someone's prepared. But everywhere this guy's attacking him, he's attacking his character, and AJ's being attacked in all fronts, especially in his home country. First off, he got embarrassed by Dillian White on the ring apron. And then on top of that, now he went to New York, and now this guy attacked him and said something about his mum. Bruh, this is getting on top now. Everywhere he turns, then you got Deontay Wilder banging. You got Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury after their biggest fight in America, in the world media watching. Anthony Joshua's a pussy. He don't want it. He's scared. That is like too much, bro. So he's bloody hearing all this stuff, and he's had enough. And that's why I feel at that point, all these people are doing that because you didn't want to do what they asked you to do or whatever, and they're just venting. All these people want your money. But you know, Vladimir got the same thing. Like, if I was him, yeah, I'd have a good talk with Vladimir, and I think he does with Jonathan Baggs. Say, but listen, that's what David hated to Vladimir, bro. Like, man, them talk to Vladimir like Vladimir was dirt, like Vladimir was trash. Like, David had a picture of both of his brothers on a t-shirt. Like, Vladimir, you know what I'm trying to say to you? So, and Vladimir he said, okay, fine. You know, he never fell for it. He just said, and that's what I did like David Haye going into the fight, but I didn't want him to win. I didn't think he deserved it because I don't like that. I don't like people saying stuff like that. I don't agree with it. I don't like AJ doing it either, and he's fell into it, and I don't like it. That's just my opinion, isn't it?
Yeah. So, Unrivaled, what's your opinion on it? Do you like it? you like this
Do I like
version,
what?
2.0? Do you like the 2.0 AJ, or do you still like or do you prefer the 1.0?
I don't think there's a 1.0 or a 2.0 of AJ. I think there's a 1.5. I think there's two sides to the man.
So do you like this side or do you like the old side?
Well, I don't think there's an old side, because if we saw with the Dillian White thing, he got pissed off. If we remember the IFL interviews and everything, he was like, if you still think I'm the same guy I was, I'll fucking kill you. Like, he was pissed. We saw darkness there. Sure, most of the time he's keeping it calm, he's keeping it respectful. But like, when people get under his skin, he gets roiled up. So I've seen this happen before. It's not new. So
yeah. So, but the question is though, do you like this AJ, this aggressive AJ, or do you rather him being calm and being connected?
I'll be honest with you. I'll tell you after I see the fight, because if he's able to be angry, and he's still able to win dominantly, then I'll say yes. But if he gets angry and he shows more holes, I'll say no, because he's showing a weakness there. He's showing that he can be beaten in a mental game.
I like to add, there's no going back. There's no going back from this point onwards. You can only go forward. And Wilder and Fury are they're better talkers than Big Baby Miller. And what I'm trying to say to you is that I treat these people like kids. They're all like kids to me, yeah. And with kids, what you do, you ignore them, or you just like, yeah, or you just, you know what I'm saying? It's like, whatever, man. Like, we'll find out in the ring, innit? Like, you know what I'm saying? You don't have to talk that much. I'm gonna find you in the ring anyway. So I don't have AJ's doing. He don't need to be doing what he's doing. He's the champ. Go. Who am I? Well, I'm the champ. Well, you have to say what you're saying, right? Because you're insecure, you're paranoid, and you know that you've got a lot on the thing. But I'm telling you, like, when you come fight night, you're gonna pay for the stuff you're saying, and that's as much as you need to say. That's it. No more, no less. Like Josh Taylor and Ahara Davis, bro. Josh Taylor was gearing up for Ahara. The first press conference, he was gonna talk shit. Josh Taylor looked like he was gonna attack him because he knew the mind, of Ahara could get to his head, and Ahara's an idiot. Ahara should attack Josh Taylor there and then, because he would have got in his head, and because he didn't, consequently, Josh was wild up. Josh was gonna beat him anyway, but it would have helped. It would have helped. It would have. No, I'm saying sometimes. Okay, let me give you another example, right? Because Anthony's out of character. I'll give you another one. This is a really good one, right? Not saying this is him. Amir Khan and Danny Garcia. It's a perfect example. Brother, dad talk greasy, Aladdin flying carpet. When have you seen the age? This, that, the other. And Amir was so bent up over the Peterson shit. He was like, bro, I'm gonna teach you, I'm gonna make you pay, And he went out of character, and he's consequently he got flattened. You know what I mean? This is what I'm saying.
EJ,
so, yeah.
You need the job with the zone, man. You're selling the fuck out of Miller right now. You're selling this really good.
Yeah, because
he's got a job interview next week with the zone.
Because I'm being honest.
You know what Miller did?
I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna buy it now, just off of that.
Yeah. You know what Miller did? Miller did the whole press conference. Yeah, Miller did the whole press conference. He sat there and led back, and he was quiet. He's like, yeah, I've got him. That's what he did. I saw him. So, fuck, AJ. You fell right into his trap. You're yapping off the mouth. You're calling this. You're interrupting him when he's talking. I was like, right, he's got you riled up, bro. He's got you right out of pocket. Then I was looking at AJ's face. He has a couple of spots on his face. This guy. That's when you get stressed. A little kind of acne. People get that when you're stressed a lot. He was preparing for a war out of soul. And Miller didn't say anything. He didn't really say anything. Mark Hughes was like, yeah, is it okay? And AJ was yapping off the mouth, said shit, and I was like, right. So AJ is acting erratic, out of his character. Is this gonna affect him? I believe it will. So I believe, because you know what? Dillian White did that to him, and AJ never reacted like that. But AJ made him pay fight night. That's what made it good.
I think
I may add to AJ's point. I have a bit of point here, because let's keep in mind that AJ's fighting out of his comfort zone too for the first time. So you could accumulate that into what he had into his erratic behavior, as DJ pointed out. This can be detrimental for him going to it potentially can be going to fight night with Big Baby Miller. I still am confident he's going to win the fight, but we are going to see some things that is going to be out of character with almost cost of the fight. You know what I mean? So that we'll have to wait and see. But I just wanted to add that in there.
Hey man, I like this EJ. I like this Anthony Joshua. I like this AJ. You know, this version of AJ. You know, he look. This was coming. This was coming for a while. Yeah. Like if I was in his shoes, let's look at it. Let's look at the background from a second. He was being Mr. Nice Guy, and Unrivaled has got a point. There's two sides to everyone. There's the nice side where you're nice and friendly, but then there's a side of if someone pisses you off, man, you're not gonna stand for it. Do you know what I mean? You're gonna stand your ground, and that's the same size of AJ. AJ is nice to people that's nice to him, but if you're not nice to me, I'm not gonna be nice to you back. And I think that's the side of that AJ that you're seeing right now. And I think that you know it was coming. Let's look at the background from how it all stemmed from. It stemmed from number one, the whole Wilder and negotiations with AJ. People were saying AJ, you know, is this? AJ's ducking. AJ's under pressure, and then you get Lennox Lewis, one of the legendary heavyweight boxers, coming out saying, "Oh, AJ ain't in control. Eddie Hearn is controlling him. He hasn't got his mind of his own." And then you're getting people like when Tyson Fury and Wilder was announced, you're getting Wilder coming on British TV saying, "Oh, you're a coward. You don't want to fight nobody, blah, blah, blah." He kept quiet all the way through. And then you get Tyson Fury coming out saying, AJ's a coward, this and this and this. So this has been building up for a while. And then finally...
Well, you got Dillian White coming out saying the same thing, too. He don't want to fight. You're being a manipulator. Yeah, you're being a manipulator. Yeah, so it's like all this is building up. It's like, dude, I'm tired of this bullshit. Because I think what's happening now is that some of the UK fans are turning on AJ because of all this is playing out, and that's probably what's getting to him.
Exactly.
And that's what I'm just being honest. It's getting to him. So it's like, dude, I can't take this no more. But go ahead.
Exactly. And then it comes down to the point where he went to the US and he starts saying, "Oh, look. You know, he wants to put his name out there." And I think that, and also at the Chisora thing fight, he was pissed off with Dillian White big time when he walked off. And it's like, nah, these people don't know. Like, I'm trying to keep it cool, but do you know what I mean? You can see it was about to flip then, like in the Chisora Dillian White fight. So I think that what's happened with Miller, I don't think that he's coming out greasy right now. I don't think it's because of Miller. I just think it's a combination of everything that's been happening over the past year. And I think that Miller happens to be the unlucky person that's involved. Do you know what I mean? That's getting the brunt of it now. I think he'll be talking like this.
Or the lucky person.
Yeah, the lucky person.
You never know.
Yeah. I think it would have been. I think he would have been doing this, talking like this, if it was Dillian White, if it was Ortiz or whatever. I think he'll be talking the same way, because I think now he's had enough. He's like, no more Mr. Nice Guy. People think I'm this little nice pretty boy, blah 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 blah. And you can see when the gloves are off. When the gloves are off, it's like, no, this is me. This is who I am. I'm sick and tired of people telling me I'm not real person or whatever. Like, this is me. So I think AJ's sick and tired of it now, and he's like,
well, you know what? You made a good point, right? This is a very good point you made, because see what you said about like people controlling him. That goes into him telling Eddie Hearn, "Hold on, Eddie, I want a couple more questions in New York," to try and tell everyone Eddie doesn't control me. So eventually, what you're basically saying is that he started to listen to stuff. This ultimately comes down to the decision making of Matchroom Sports and what they've been trying to do with Eddie and AJ. AJ is the corporate clean cut champion. When Mike Tyson was clean cut, all the corporate sponsors want to be. You ultimately, if you want to keep boxing to where boxing needs to go, you need the ultimate corporate entity. AJ is perfect. But you see what I'm saying? When I see that stuff, I look at it, I was like, bruh, we've just built a whole brand, Olympic gold, clean cut, undefeated champion. When I see him swearing and acting like that in big America, bruh, it's not good. If you want corporate sponsors on you, if you want Coca-Cola, if you want to be down there with Beyonce, if you want to be there, that's not the way, man. I'm telling you, I don't like it. It's too greasy. I understand all this stuff, yeah. But bruh, if you could bring a Klitschko, they got Polo, I think it was Polo, Hugo Boss, like one of them big fashion brands on you. And this is what I'm gonna say to you. Like, when I see all that stuff, I'm like, bruh, they put so much hard work into you, yeah. And now who's advising you to rap off the mat? In fact, Who's advised you to fight that fat, big, greasy tub of lard? You shouldn't have fought him, bro. You should have kept home court advantage. Fight Dillian White. It's an easy fight. You know, he earned the right. You know, give him the chance. You're gonna beat him quick and punish him off, and then go on. Why did you fight this big fat tub of lard? And you've gone into, and you put yourself in this position now, right? We put yourself in this position for New York and trying to sell yourself to New York. So a lot of pressures on AJ, and I agree with you over the criticism, but at the same time, you're trying to brand yourself in New York. What kind of image are you coming across with? A confrontational, angry black man, or you're going to be a corporate champion? Because a corporate champion right now is getting a wash, and people are looking at you and calling you names, fake this, fake that, like, bro. And like, you could MC, nice, yeah, you can MC, but bro, I'm looking at our sport to be the corporate champion. We need a guy to take us to the next level. Can AJ be that guy? I think so, but people need to sort themselves out, man. They really do.
I think you're putting too much. I think you're putting too much expectation on Anthony Josh to be something that is not. The fact that
I'm not.
I disagree with you, Edge. I disagree with you completely. Anthony Joshua is literally the guy who could be the crossover superstar from this sport, which would bring more light to the sport.
Yeah, he can.
He is the guy.
Yeah, he is the guy. But he is the guy. But he doesn't have to be the nice, friendly speaking guy. Because let's remember who's the biggest pay-per-view stars in boxing, and that's Floyd Money Mayweather and Conor McGregor.
Oh, bro, you know why?
And last time I checked, those guys weren't PC. The last time I checked.
No. But hold on. You know what?
Let's remember Conor McGregor versus Khabib. What happened?
Oh, look at it. But look at the people you're talking about.
And they got banned. And you got $50 million for that fight.
Yo. Look at the people you're talking about. Look, I know what you're saying.
They're not corporate though.
No. I'm trying to tell you, yeah. You understand what I'm saying to you. I'm talking about, look, see Al Heyman. Listen, this is where he's gone wrong. If he was with Al Heyman, I think Al Heyman would have made him a bigger star than Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is a small guy. They're small-minded from Essex. When you got Al Heyman is a bigger guy, more in the world market with music. He would have put him in different areas where it would have made him big. All right, listen to this, right? Now, watch this. This is a very big move I'm going to say. For everyone, it will probably blow your mind. AJ contract finishes with Eddie Hearn and he moves to ITV. Now, he's on ITV, the biggest market in our, and you know that's the biggest network. Put AJ on ITV with PBC. You tell me how big it would have been on that market compared to Sky. Huge on ITV. If AJ was to cross over, furthermore, it reached more houses and more homes on more TV channels on anything he would than they can ever do in Sky, because you have to pay for Sky. ITV is free. You put them everything on ITV, every TV, every Coronation Street, everything on ITV. You throw him out through there. He'll be massive and huge. And this is what I'm trying to say to you. When I'm talking about that guy star, AJ has the qualities, yeah, that you as a Jack Johnson, not Jack Johnson, sorry, a Joe Lewis, a Muhammad Ali, and all them other guys. Vladimir Klitschko, I have to say Vladimir Klitschko, he conducted himself well for 10 years. Look at Fury, that coke-headed fucking crazy guy. Look at Deontay Wilder, mad angry guy. Bro, I like these guys, but they're not the guys that are going to take our sport. They're the same kind of guys that are coming through. Mayweather, right? Who's on camera right now? Someone's on camera. Yeah, so Phil? Phil, you look good there, Phil. I saw you on camera, bro. You in your car. Mayweather is a type of guy, right, who Mayweather kept our sport alive in the social media image, and he kept it alive and kept it relevant, and because they hated on him, and his whole market was like, they hated on me. I tried to be nice. I tried to be clean cut. I tried to be the pretty boy. Bomb that, allow that. I'm going to be horrible. Money Mayweather. I'm going to get paid. I don't care. And I'm going to blatantly tell everyone stick your fingers up. And it worked. And it's got his favor. And it's great. But I'm talking about to take our sport to the next level compared to all the other major sports to put us into that light. And that's what was happening now. The big shift of all these people putting money into our sport to put our sport into be one of the number sport. And that's what that was doing. So Eddie Hearn's been trying to do. But at the same time, the decisions they're making are not the best decisions of late. That's all I'm saying to you. They're not. Because when it happened, we got the belt. We got the belts. We got the belts, and you're one step away from cleaning up every single belt in the division. And what do? You undermine, and you humiliate one of the other champions. Instead of just treating Wilder with respect and treating him how he should have been treated, they disregarded him, they disrespected him, and they left it open for Fury to come along and them to make that fight. And this is what's happened because they made Stupid decisions. And this is what I'm saying to you now. And this is all the heat has come down on them, but they could have shut the door on the whole division, bring Wilder over, give him what he asked for, put him in Wembley Stadium, and it would have been over. That would have been it. The door would have been shut, and all this talking, big men, it wouldn't have to fight people like that.
Hey,
so that's
EJ, man, you went off on a tangent there, but like, God, man, what are you talking about? Like, where should we start with this? With what you're saying right now? Yeah. First off, let me just address in the chat. Hey, Hamid, yeah, like Hamid, like I ain't blocked you, dude. Like I sent the link to the same group that EJ, Unrivaled, Dan, the man, Phil is just jumped on. So everyone has clicked on that same link and they're on. So if you can't,
it worked. You know what? I'll give you I tried it on my tablet and it didn't work on my tablet. But when I tried it on another phone, it worked. Hamid, the links does work. You're gonna have to try it on other devices, bro. It does work though.
Yeah, so it works. So just try on another device. I don't know if you have one, but like, yeah, so it works. Yeah. So anyway, I just had to address that because he's keep on saying it's like not working. But yeah, like, look, EJ, man, look, I appreciate what you mean. I understand where you're coming from. Like, I understand what you're saying. The only things I disagree with you on is that if he went to Al Heyman, he'll be a bigger star, because that's not true. Because look what he's done to Deontay Wilder. Yeah, like is he a big star? No, he's got no history with heavyweights making him into big stars. So you cannot say that he's gonna make him to big star.
Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather.
No, heavyweight. And Floyd Mayweather, that's the only name you can say. But let's
yeah, but you said no history.
Wait. The two biggest stars in welterweight is Pacquiao and Mayweather. Mayweather's Al Heyman, fair enough. But Pacquiao's top rank. What about the other?
Mayweather. Hold on.
You're relying on a former top rank. You're relying on look. You're relying on a former top rank fighter to boost your own stable of fighters. Yeah, and let's go to middleweight. It's got Charlo. Is Charlo a big name? No, he's not. Is he going to be a big name in the future? No, because he's on PBC and he's not on the zone where he can fight Canelo, Jacobs, and all those guys. And let's look at Eddie Hearn's record. Who's got the biggest name in heavyweight right now? Okay, Anthony Joshua. Who's the fourth biggest? Dillian White. They're both under Eddie Hearn. And then you can go to middleweight. Okay.
You know, but that's only regional. But Edge, let me just beg the difference on one thing you just said there. I agree in the beginning Wilder was not promoted properly. I agree with you on that stance. That was Heyman's responsibility. But I will be fair though. Let's be fair though. After the Wilder Fury pay-per-view commercial success, whether you agree it was commercial success or not, Wilder's profile has increased in the United States after that fight. You can thank Heyman for that.
Yeah, he's increased, but you can blame Fury for that. You can blame Fury for that. Not
you didn't need Heyman.
Not Al Heyman.
You needed that part.
Al Heyman should have promoted Wilder ages ago. If he'd done a good job,
I agree.
Wilder would be a bigger name than he is now. He would be a bigger name than he is now. And right now, if you look at the situation now with Deontay Wilder, Tyson Fury signed a big deal with ESPN. Anthony Joshua signed a $32 million deal, and they're both fighting in the States in Deontay Wilder's backyard, earning big money fighting in US fights. Deontay Wilder right now is on the back foot. He could be fighting Dominic Breazeale in May. And he's gonna be earning what, 2.5 million? I mean, if I'm Deontay Wilder, I'll be like, wait, what are you doing for me lately?
I agree with you on that, but let's be fair though. Fury would not have gotten that deal. That Wilder fight. Let's be real.
So Dan, he's getting the deals though. He's getting the deals.
Hold on. Let me add to something, right? So, just to give you guys a heads up, okay, it's disadvantages to fighting with both platforms, right? So right now, Deontay Wilder is underneath the PBC banner, okay? Now, to me, this is a very, very good advantage to where you have guys like Anthony Joshua that's with the Zone or Sky and Tyson Fury that's with ESPN. Now, Deontay Wilder shouldn't have any problem going over and fighting on these networks because he's with PBC. He's not obligated to one particular network. Now, that's an advantage. Now, also, he has the pay-per-view. Al's fighters are big into pay-per-view appearances. Once you make it to the pay-per-view, that's when you really get your money. If you become a pay-per-view store, that's how Mayweather got his money. So it's advantages to both sides. You know, with Eddie, he has the ability to let the fighters fight more times a year versus Al Heyman. And like, okay, prime example, we sent the contract over to Adrian Broner. Eddie Hearn did, right, to sign with the Zone. He was offering like 2.2 to fight. Each fight was giving him like 2.2, and on his third fight, was gonna give him like 2.5. Adrian Broner was already making that with PBC, but the only difference is he's not locked down to one particular network. Okay, now it is an advantage if you are somebody like Adrian Broner, you've been stinking up the joint, that you do have those 3 fights with this guaranteed money. So it's pluses and minuses to being signed with both networks. It's not a competition. I mean,
yeah, but
who cares about?
The point I'm making is that people has been riding Al Heyman's coattails because yes, he made Floyd Mayweather and the big fights with Floyd Mayweather. But like people need to remember, like what other names has he got under his stable that was as big or nearly as big as Floyd Mayweather is right now? Like you have to have the consistency.
Let me give you a hold up. I'm gonna tell you why people.
Let's remember, Floyd Mayweather was big when he was under Golden Boy. He was under Golden Boy when he was big. Let's remember that.
Hold up. People, I'm gonna tell you why people ride Al Heyman's coat.
Wow.
It's not because of the simple fact that he's getting people paid a tremendous amount of money. It's the power that he has within his industry, which is entertainment. Okay, this dude, I can't speak for the United Kingdom, but here in the States, when it comes to entertainment, Al Heyman is the main guy. Period. I don't care if you hold up. I don't care if you rap, if you sing, if you're a comedian, or if you any of those things. Al Heyman is the guy that you want to work with. That's why people ride his coattail.
Look, at the end of the day, yeah. Look, Al Heyman is a powerful entity in boxing, but let's look at the landscape now. ESPN are starting to spend money now. DAZN is spending big money. And let's look at it. When PBC and DAZN has bidded for fighters, DAZN has come up on top. They were bidding for Triple G, and it looks like Triple G's gonna go on DAZN now. You know, they've been do you know what I mean? So, at the day, they are losing the battle in regards to getting the fighters that they need to make their fighters big. The only battle they won was Manny Pacquiao, but you know, that's. But other than that,
wait, hold on.
Can I get in here real quick?
Yeah. Hold on, Greg. DAZN also. Let me say something, Edge. Let me just remind you. DAZN also did it for Manny Pacquiao as well, and they lost to BBC in that battle. So it depends who BBC is going to invest into. So let me just take that into account. So they felt that Pacquiao was worth the investment. That's why they outbid DAZN in that situation. So they do have the money to compete with them. That's just up to them to decide if they want to outbid them or not. So,
but hold up. To add to what you're saying, Dan. Hold up. Dan. Just to give you guys a heads up, necessarily, you can't say necessarily that DAZN is winning the battle, because that's the thing about Al Heyman fighters. They're not signed to any network or anything like that. DAZN has went over and tried to poach several of PBC fighters and have come up unsuccessful. So are they winning the battle really, or the people, or are they just getting certain people?
That's more their loss. I mean, look. Okay, let's ask this question: Is Jamal Charlo better off in PBC or better off in DAZN right now? What is he? Look, if you're his manager right now, and you're gonna watch out for the best of your career, he's advised by Al Heyman. Let's look at it. Al Heyman is his advisor. His job is to advise the best route for Jamal Charlo. What would you tell Jamal Charlo right now?
Same thing I'd tell Terrence Crawford. Go to the other side of the street.
Exactly. You have to keep it real. Like in the welterweight division, yeah, PBC is where it's at. All the big heavyweight, all the big welterweights are there.
But why would you tell Charlo that though? Why? Give me a reason why.
I like to say that all the fighters were on Showtime and they never made the fight. What does that mean? Because they're on the say on the sheet. Ortiz was with Matchroom, that never happened. All the guys are on Showtime and that never happened. So what are you talking? Because they're there doesn't mean it's gonna happen. Mm-hmm. So what are you talking about? Because I've seen that happen. AJ was there for 5 years on Showtime. AJ was there for 5 years on Showtime. And then when was they gonna make that fight? When did they even talk about that fight? What, when he left?
Can I say something, EJ? No, but it was. Yeah, can I say something real quickly? Khan and Brook never happened. We thought that we were gonna get that fight with Khan signed on Matchroom. Now it's not gonna happen. So I'm just saying. So just to EJ's point, just because some fighters go on the same network does not guarantee that fight's gonna happen. So I just wanted to.
That's a good point.
Why? That's why I said why. Give me a reason why. What would make that decision so much better than the next?
No, that's a good point that you made. Because you're on the same network doesn't mean that the big fights are going to happen. However, when you look at the record of people fighting on the zone, and let's look at Daniel Jacobs for an example. He's with Al Heyman. He's still advised with Al Heyman. He hasn't left Al Heyman. He's still with him. But he decided for his career it would be best to go through the route with Eddie Hearn because he believed that Eddie Hearn was going to deliver the fights that he was gonna that he wanted to make.
It was better with Al Heyman. It was better with PBC. The fights have been stinking up. None of them been good.
Canelo right now.
Hold up. No, you didn't hear what I said. I said since he's been with PBC, all right. Look at the great fight. When he was with the other side, he had Kid Chocolate. He had another fight. Who's another fight? He had some good fight with what's his name again? The Latin Snake, Sergio Mora. There was some really good fights. When it seems to be the zone, bro. Yeah, since he crossed over, I can't remember, bro. I don't remember none of the good fights he's had.
I'm pretty sure. Hold on, Edge. Let me just say, I'm pretty sure since he signed with the Zone, he's fought the Revianchenko, right? That was a good fight.
No. That was on HBO. His first fight officially on the Zone is with Canelo. So when you're saying he hasn't fought any good fights on the Zone, I think Canelo's a good fight on the Zone, don't you think? His first fight on the Zone on the platform.
Can I say something about Jamal Charlo? How many belts Canelo got? How many belts Canelo got?
3.
He got 2.
Two.
All right, so the winner of the WBC title, Jamal Charlo, in one sweep, no matter where he's at, Jamal Charlo can sign with me today, and he's going to be the mandatory for 3 titles.
Oh, that's not going to happen. It's not going to happen.
No. Hold on. That's what you're predicting, and that's what you like from the argument the angle that you're arguing. But the truth of the matter is the WBC been making mandatories fight. The mandatory. Sean Porter's fighting is mandatory. Stevenson Vosdick. The list goes on. Mikey Garcia dropped the title. They making 1 and 2 fight. So Jamal Charlo in a perfect position. No matter he can sign to YouTube tomorrow, and he's going to get his fight.
Yeah, but you're forgetting the reason why Sean Porter is fighting is mandatory because he won a vacant belt of Garcia. That's the reason why he's fighting is mandatory right now. Look at Dominic Brazil. Dominic Brazil was mandatory for how long? And instead of him being mandatory for Wilder, they're making him fight another eliminator when he was already mandatory.
That's Wilder though, bro. That once again, that's
WBC. That's what they do. That's what they do. That's what the WBC will do. I can guarantee you right now that they're gonna make Charlo fight another eliminator before he goes and fights Canelo next.
Well, to Lowe's point though, he doesn't have to go to the Zone to get the Canelo fight. He can still be on Showtime and still get that fight. The WBC is going to mandate no matter what network they're on. So that's up to the champion if he wants to go through it or the challenger. So that's up to them.
Okay, so, sweep 3 titles in one fight, and we tell them to change something. Shit, I'm gonna either get my step aside money, or I'm gonna get my 3 titles. Either way, I'm coming off pretty legit.
Yeah, you have to remember, Charlo is like what in his 30s? He's 30 now. Like how much time does he have left? I mean, is he really like? Do you know if you're like? At the end of the day, there's no guarantee.
Hold on, Edge. Let me ask you a question. Let me go, EJ. Edge, this is what you told me the other day when we were talking, and you said that Luis Ortiz should have just waited for his mandatory to fight Anthony Joshua when he had the WBA. Why Charlo can't apply that same thing?
No. He got stripped. He got stripped because he took drugs. That's a different situation.
No.
Yes, that's what he did. He tested positive. He tested positive, and he got stripped of his WBA.
But Edge, hold on. Edge. You said Ortiz instead of going the WBC route, okay? Because this is what you told me. You said Ortiz, okay, when he went to the WBC, the WBA removed him from the mandatory spot. That's what you said the other day, okay? You said he should have just sat tight and waited for him to call the mandatory, and waited for the WBA to mandate the fight, okay? That same philosophy that you're saying, and I don't know if it happened that way. I'll dispute that, but that's neither here or there. But the point I'm going to is why can't Charlo apply that same philosophy that you mentioned with Luis Ortiz?
Okay, let me explain to you why, yeah? Number one, Luis Ortiz left the WBA to fight for a World Heavyweight Championship belt against Deontay Wilder. So he left to fight for a World Heavyweight title against Deontay Wilder. So that's number one. That's a different situation. Number two, the WBA.
No, that's not.
WBA. Well, okay. Let me explain to you. Let me finish what I'm saying. Number two, Luis Ortiz was going to be mandatory to fight Anthony Joshua next. Charlo is not going to be mandatory to fight Canelo Alvarez next. He's going to be he's going to be waiting and fighting eliminator after eliminator after eliminator after eliminator, and until he's going to give up and eventually go and fight somebody else. That's what's going to happen.
Eddie Hearn mishandled Ortiz's career. Mishandled Eddie Hearn mishandled Luis Cruz's career. He mishandled Kell Brook's career. He's gonna mismatch AJ's career. He's gonna mismatch whoever he's in front of him. He's gonna straight mismatch David Bellew, Tony Bellew's career. The only career he's done well, with is Carl Froch, bro. But Carl Froch's career was already ready.
What are you on about?
What is it? Hold on. Is it money? Is it money or legacy? I'll give you a blueprint, right? Al Heyman, Mayweather from the jump. Al Heyman's first guy that he ever worked with was Vernon Forrest, who beat Shea Mosley. That was his first ever client, bro. What you talking about? He's got a history of being with fighters who making big waves in the sport. Bro, I'm telling you, Eddie Hearn's going to ruin Anthony Joshua's career. That's the way it's going to be. He ruined Kell Brook's career, making bad decisions. And all he cares about is money. Why did he fight Kell Brook, fight Jesse Vargas? Apparently, they're going to fight now. The man's got 2 orbital bones missed up. He mismanaged Luke Campbell's career. Why is Claude Cruller going in there with suicidal fucking Lomachenko? Is that a good move? What? I'm talking about Anthony.
You're fighting Lomachenko.
You think that's has he got any chance of beating him? All right. What about the school teacher? I'm trying to show you. What about the school teacher? What's his name? Rocky from Stocky going against Callum. Are you mad, bro?
What are you talking about?
This is the guy you're talking about, yeah? He's decision making. The same guy you're talking about, yeah? He makes money, but bruh, look at the history fight. Which legacy fights has Eddie Hearn put down? Give me a legacy fight. Where's his legacy fight?
What you're saying is, your logic, based on your logic, Dillian White shouldn't fight Anthony Joshua because he's going to lose. So there's no point fighting Anthony Joshua anyways, because if I fight Anthony Joshua and lose, it's going to ruin my career because I lost to Anthony Joshua. That don't make no sense. You're fighting one of the best.
What legacy fight? Give me a legacy fight. Because I know, I mean legacy fight. The only legacy fight. You don't understand about legacy fight. You don't understand about legacy fight. What? You don't understand about legacy fights. Hold on. You don't understand about legacy fights. No, you don't. Let me finish. Let me finish. Legacy fights, yeah? Legacy fights I'm talking about. Legacy fight. AJ versus Klitschko, right? AJ versus Klitschko, and then you obviously what? George Groves and Carl Froch. That's a legacy fight, right? There's another legacy, yeah.
Well,
then you got what about this? What about this Tony Bellew? What about Tony Bellew and Usyk? It's a legacy fight, yeah. It's a legacy. All the time he's losing, bruh. He's losing at all the junctions, bruh.
That's not Eddie Hearn's fault. Look. His job.
He's the matchmaker. He's the one putting him in there.
It's not.
Who is then? Are you nuts, bro? They lose all the time. That's why he don't want to put Wilder in. That's why he don't put Wilder in, because he knows he's gonna lose, bro. That's why.
Strip it down to the basics. Strip it down to the basics. Eddie Hearn, when Eddie Hearn signs a fighter, he says, "You know what? I'm gonna open doors for you. I'm gonna put you in a position so you can fight for a world title. From there on, it's up to you to do the job. If you don't do the job, it's not Eddie Hearn's fault. If I'm a fighter,
are you crazy? Hey, you what you said? Edge, this is what you don't know. Edge, this is what you don't know. Edge, are they not ready for it? Edge. If they're not ready for the title, they don't deserve. Like you told me, Rocky from Stocky. They try to tell you he was a world champion. Was that guy ready for Canelo? Was that guy ready for Canelo?
Champion. He was the champion.
Are you crazy, bro? You crazy? Edge, that was suicide. Edge, you know what? You got another one. I got another one. Callum Smith. No, I got another one. Callum Smith. I know I got another one. Hey, Callum Johnson versus Beterbiev. Yeah, mate. He's off the British title. You knock out Frank Bilioni. You're ready for a world title. Is that right? Okay.
He nearly beat Beterbiev. He knocked him down. He nearly beat him.
He almost beat Beterbiev.
Come on, Frank Bilioni.
He nearly beat him.
If you're gonna say that about Eddie Hearn,
I'm glad Eddie Hearn don't baby him.
Wait, that's what I'm saying. Because I was about to say, like, you look at PBC, like, I hear what you're saying, but
Can I say something real quick?
they don't have legacy fights
Say
either.
hello to Unbiased and Biased Boxing, guys. Hey guys, welcome to the chat. Welcome to the chat, guys. Welcome to the chat. And also welcome Low Place as well. Welcome Low Place. I know Low Place is there as well. Sorry I didn't welcome you because everyone's just popping on.
Edge, can I say something real quickly, man? I just want to chime in on something. What you and EJ were debating about. Both of you guys are right, and let me tell you why. Because Eddie Hearn does get criticized for moving his guys way too fast, right? Because sometimes it does become detrimental. Look at Louis Reston, look at Kell Brook, look at who else? Who else is there?
We can't say Kell Brook because he beat Sean Paul.
Let me finish.
Look at Lee Purdy. Put him in against Devil Alexander, and he had the guy nearly killed. And then he went in against Bundu and got murdered. Now the guy's orbital, bro. Now the guy's senses, the guy's got permanent Virgo. Permanent Virgo.
What about Al Heyman and Washington? What about Al Heyman and Washington? Al Heyman, Washington with killers after killers after killers.
This is where I'm going to take. This is where I'm going to take your side on this one. You are right in one sense. Eddie Hearn approaches these guys and say, "Hey, are you ready for a world title shot?" Those fighters make that decision right there. That's up to them to tell Eddie, look, I'm not ready for that title shot right now. I need a few more fights. That's their decision to make. Because I'm giving you an example. When Anthony Joshua was approached for the Charles Martin fight, Eddie Hearn asked Anthony Joshua and his manager, are you guys ready for this fight? You think you can beat Charles Martin? He said, yes. Give me that fight. So at the end of the day, the fighters make that decision on what they want to do.
I'd like to say, Dan, I'd like to say something, right? I'd like to say something in the face. Right. What Eddie Hearn does, and you're absolutely right, talks to fire. But listen to this. Kell Brook, should have a manager that Eddie Hearn should talk to. But you know what Eddie Hearn did? He didn't talk to the trainer. He called Kell Brook in the middle of the night. I've got GGG. Do you want to fight him? He goes, you ready, Bobby? Are you ready? Because you want to fight? Because I got to fight for him. Because he knows you know why? Because the fight will never say no. I've got guys in the gym right now. They'd fight Anthony Joshua or drop of that. You think they'd win? No, I wouldn't put them in there. You know what? But I wouldn't put them in. So my thing is, fighters need to be protected from themselves and their manner. But Eddie Hearn has the charisma. He bypassed the managers and tells the fighter, and the fighter convinced the manager and the trainer that's why Dominic's not with him, because he caused Kell Brook to lose his orbital bone. He caused a welterweight to go up middleweight, go up there, tell him he's big and strong, and look what happened to him.
Yeah, but if you're gonna say
that's Eddie Hearn. And then you know what he did? You know what he did? Then he did. You know what he did? You know what he did after that? Then he told him, "Oh, don't worry about it. Go back down the weight and defend it against Errol Spence." Are you fucking crazy? And cost the other order.
Yeah,
don't tell me. Then I got another one for you. I got another one for you. What about Linares? Linares versus Kevin Mitchell. Linares and Kevin Mitchell. Then he put him. Then he got beat up in that fight. What did he do? He put him against some fucking guy from Colombia and had that guy stretch him out in the next fight. Get out of here, bro. Don't tell me, man. I know what this guy's doing. He ain't got no clue, bro. He's getting people killed out here.
Nah, man. You can say the same with what? Look what Al Heyman done with Washington. Yeah, look what he did with when he was done well, decent against Wilder. He should have built him up from scratch and say, okay, we're gonna put you in with some softies, build your confidence up, and then put you in again. But no, he put him with killers and killers and killers and killers.
How many other fighters? If you want to pick that guy,
destroyed him.
If you want to pick that guy, if you pick Washington, I've just named 7 other fighters, and you picking one.
No. Seven.
Actually, 7. You want me to go through the list? Let me go for Lee Purdy, right? Lee Purdy. You got who else you got here? You got Lee Purdy. You got Kevin Mitchell. You got Kell Brook. Killing, bro. This guy's killing people's careers, bro. Killing people.
EJ, Aobs in the chat's got a good point. Hey, what do you think about Garcia versus Spence?
That's what I just said.
Change the subject because I'm murdering it. Change the subject because I'm murdering this subject. I'm murdering it. That's what I'm saying. I'm murdering it.
You don't talk about that now, isn't it?
No, he's using that as a
that Eddie Hearn rush, man. That's a totally different story. Totally different scenario. That's a total. You can't compare that because Mark Garcia is. No, you can't, because Mike Garcia is the well-known seasoned fighter, bro, compared to Kell Brook. He's a well-known fighter.
I got a question.
It's pretty much the same.
He ain't never beat no Sean Porter.
That's what I'm saying. Garcia never fought anybody like Sean Porter.
Oh,
Look,
get out of here, man.
real quick.
Go
Daniel,
ahead.
Dan,
Yeah.
let me ask a question quick. So this is my question here, right? So, Ed, you mentioned earlier something about Dillian White not taking the AJ fight because he knows he's going to lose. Now,
No.
Eddie Hearn,
That wasn't the point I was making. I was saying that based on EJ's point is that why take the fight if you know you're going to lose? That's not the attitude you should be having. You should be having that you should be thinking you're going to win. It's a world title shot. It's an opportunity to win a belt and to build your own legacy. So why are you going to turn that down? That's why I was saying with Conor and Lomachenko. Look, people think that.
Hold up. So this still goes to my point. This is my point right here. Yeah. So you have Eddie Hearn managing both of these guys. Okay. Yeah. Now, to me, he's got to have some kind of conflict of interest. I'm gonna tell you why. Because everybody knows that AJ is his guy. Okay. Now, and honestly, and this is my problem with Eddie. Dillian White, if Dillian White were to beat AJ, where does that leave Eddie Hearn and his establishment, considering he's built AJ up to this level? So that's a conflict of interest. You understand what I'm saying? Yeah, because AJ is
Canelo. Canelo.
Preach, Phil. Preach, Phil. Preach.
He doesn't.
Hey, Phil, tell him.
He doesn't have Canelo.
Wait, hold on. Did I say Canelo? First of all, Canelo is promoted by De La Hoya. He doesn't.
It's co-promoted.
Why would he be mad? He got Dillian. He got Dillian and AJ now.
He ain't he ain't co-promoting nothing. He's not co-promoting nothing. He's not co-promoting. Don't lie. No, he's just on it. He went to deal with the zone and Golden Boy. Eddie Hearn has nothing to do with it. Nothing to do with it. Trust me.
With the zone and Golden Boy, Eddie Hearn and Matchroom has nothing to do with that deal. But my point is this right here. I mean, how don't get me wrong. Eddie Hearn does do some great things for boxing. I never shit on a man's accomplishments because he's done a lot in a short period of time to bring Anthony Joshua to the top guy in the heavyweight division. But you have somebody like Dillian White that you also managing, okay? And you really could have pushed more because if Dillian White was on a different team, they would have pushed to make that fight more, okay? Because it's a good fight, okay? It's a rivalry fight. And for him to handle it the way he did, I think it's bullshit for him to handle it like that. It's a conflict of interest, period.
I don't agree with that because you can say the same. You can say the same with Al Heyman in the welterweight division. Spence and Thurman's a conflict of interest. Pacquiao and Thurman's a conflict of interest. Garcia and Spencer's a conflict of interest. There's so many people on that division that they're fighting under Ed Heyman. That doesn't make sense.
You could also say Leo Santa Cruz versus Gary Russell. What about that fight? Why didn't that happen?
Yeah, exactly. Do you know what I mean? Porter versus Spence.
Hold up. Porter fought against Thurman. Thurman fought against Danny. Porter fought against Danny fought against Thurman. Okay, Garcia
fought against Thurman.
Now fighting against.
Yeah, but then White fought AJ.
Right now hold up. Mikey Garcia is right now currently about to fight against Spence. So what do you mean? This is great fights that are being made by Al Heyman.
Big baby fighting AJ. He natural.
Everybody. They're the same promoter. So your argument don't make sense.
Bro, just look at the landscape. I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna just say this. Look at the landscape of fighters.
Hold up, no, you can't say that about PBC, dude. You can't. You cannot say that.
Just look at it.
Well, can I say something? Let me just say something real quickly. You know what? There are going to be mismatches from any stable that you're with, whether you're Matchroom or PBC. But I will say this though: Eddie Hearn does have a track record of mismatching a lot of his fighters. I think that's the point that EJ was trying to make. He does have that. So I just wanted to point that out there. But anyways, like I said, guys, go ahead.
In the end of your career, man, like you got to put your fighters in there tough. Like people should have 2 or 3 fucking.
Hey, I agree with you on that. But sometimes those fighters need to be told what they're not ready for, because at the end of the day, a fighter's probably going to say, "Yeah, I'm ready for that fight." Yeah, but what is your trainer know?
You can't put the order on Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn asks the trainers. Eddie Hearn does ask. Look, he speaks to the fighters, and the fighters will say yes. But the trainers and the coaches will normally have the final say on whether they have a fight or not. The fighters,
like Callum Johnson against Arthur Beterbiev. You really thought that Callum Johnson was ready for that fight?
He almost beat him.
Are you crazy, bro? Are you crazy? Bro, but let me tell you, he had no shot. Hey, look, you know what? You know, give me a joke about it, right? You know, give me a joke about boxing, yeah. This is what you understand. You get one shot at the apple, yeah. You hurt him, you do something, but you know why you can't pull up? Because you're not that level, bro. You're not that level. Norris, Kevin Johnson, don't care how good you were, you're not that level because you know, having done the incremental step to get that far. They might. Hey, listen. What about Kevin? I'll give you another one. Kevin Lewisham, right? I don't know if you know, it's Kevin Lewisham versus Felix Trinidad, bro. I took to myself. That was terrible. Are you not? He knocked Trinidad down how many times? But because of the level of Trinidad, bro, Trinidad came with hell. I'm just saying to you, you ain't ready, bro. Like you listen. They might hurt some people. They might do this. They might do that. But at the end of the day, you look at Dillian White and Parker, right? Dillian White nearly got fight. If that was 15 rounds, Dillian wouldn't live to the 15th round, bro. He wouldn't have got to the belt.
EJ, let me tell you why what you're saying don't make no sense, yeah? Because okay, so basically, was Gerald Washington ready for Deontay Wilder when he fought him?
Was Gerald
Washington ready for Deontay Wilder? Was he ready for Deontay Wilder? Was he ready?
Don't give me joking. Let me ask you. Let me ask you the question. I'll tell you why. Let me ask you the question. I'll answer that question nicely, yeah? So listen to this. So who did Gerald Washington beat, yeah, just before he fought Wilder? Do you even know? Do you know who he beat?
That's not the question. I asked you a question.
No, I'm telling you. I'm answering your question. I'm trying to show you something.
Why are you asking the question?
Yeah, I'm trying to show you something. I'm trying to show you something. No, I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you. I'm trying to show you. No, listen. Yeah, I'm asking you a question. Listen to what I'm saying to you. No, because you don't know the answer. You know what? Because you don't know the answer, Edge, I'll answer it for you. Right? I'll answer it for you. He beat Fast Eddie Chambers to get that shot. Eddie Chambers on the rise up. He beat Fast Eddie Chambers who fought Vladimir, right? And it was he fought Vladimir. He done all right. He got stopped. But if I beat Fast Eddie Chambers, who had 5 wins. Listen, he had 5 wins at the time when he fought Deontay Wilder. Do you know his record? What was his record, Edge?
Man,
what was his record, Edge?
You haven't asked the question.
Hey, I'm asking you, Edge, what was his record? He was under. Hold on, Edge. Hold on, Edge. Are you gonna let me? Edge. You know what, Edge. You can filibust all you like, yeah, but you see what I'm gonna say to you. I'm trying to show you why he was ready. He beat Eddie Chambers, and when he came into the fight, he beat Eddie Chambers, and when he came into the fight, he was undefeated. He never lost. He never lost to no one. He was undefeated, so you didn't know. He earned the right. He earned the right. Hold up. He earned the right to get to that point. He earned the right. He earned the right, bro. So what are you talking about? What are you talking about? What are you talking about, bro? He earned the right to get to that point. So you don't even know that, yeah? You don't even know that, yeah? You know what? You don't know the Edge. You know we don't know the Edge because you got no idea, yeah, what it takes for anyone to get that shot. I'm trying to show you that, bro. Eddie Hearn, yeah, has ruined more careers than he's made money to. Man's walking around with one eye. They can't even see you looking like Cyclops. People walking around with brain damage. They don't know. They can't remember themselves from yesterday to today. That's what Eddie Hearn's done with some of his careers, and he gonna do that to AJ. Get out of here, man. Don't mean nothing. Don't mention Jeremy Miller again. Don't mention that guy again because end of the day, yeah, the guy was undefeated, right? He beat Eddie Chambers. He earned the right to get that fight.
Eddie Chambers fought his last fight. That was. Are you kidding me? That was like at the end of his career, Eddie Chambers. That was his last fight.
I'm biased. Hold up, man. Let me shut that down on bias, yeah? So look at his rec, yeah? He won 8 fights. Wait, 8 fights in England, yeah? Well, 5 fights in England coming into that fight. It was on a nice winning streak coming into that fight before he lost. What are you talking about? What are you talking about, I'm biased? So get your facts straight. Get your facts straight. Open your mouth. All you guys, you try to pick. See this guy Edge here trying to pick names and you got no clue who he's talking about. You got no fact check. You got no fact.
No, come on.
You just mentioning names. No fact check. Get out of here.
All right. Okay.
Yo, Edge. Let me ask you, Edge. What about Charles Martin?
What about Charles Scott? What about Malik?
What about Adonis Stevenson being 40, coming off your layoffs, fighting Badu Jack? Al Heyman ain't perfect.
Oh, get out of here! Get out of here!
Okay then.
Well, no, it goes back to my point though. It goes back to no.
Is that the same as Adonis Stephen Cuss? Is that the Cuss? Hold on, is that the Adonis Stephen Cuss? Is that the Adonis Stephen Cuss talking right now? Is that the Cuss talking now? Is that the one pushing the Cuss? Bro, be quiet, bro. Be quiet, man. Be quiet, bro. Don't talk.
EJ, let me just goes back to my original point. It goes back to my original point. At the end of the day, it's the fighter that makes the decision whether they want to take that fight or not, if they feel they're ready or not. That's their decision. But at the end of the day, like I said, Eddie Hearn is known to be doing grossly mismatches than any other promoter I know out there.
No, I don't believe. You guys down the cracks. Yeah,
it's the truth. It's the truth.
I'm not mismatches.
Look at Tank. Look at Javante Tank Davis.
Javante Davis. Look at Javante Davis. Yeah.
Let me finish my point.
Crawler and Lomachenko. Andy Crawler. I know Andy Crawler. Right, Crawler Lomachenko, Crawler and Luke Campbell. Luke Campbell, he ruined Luke Campbell. He's ruining Luke Campbell, bro. He ruined that Olympian. Ruined him. Luke Campbell, he was Olympian. He's been ruined, bro. He's been ruined by missing Eddie Hearn. Why did he put him in there? Why did he put him with Yvonne Mendy? I know he beat him in the rematch, but why did he put him in? He was a European level, and at that point, Luke Campbell didn't even win the British belt, bro. He wasn't even the British champion. He was in the European.
No, but that's after the fact. You're looking at
bro. Don't want to hit. He's ruining people's careers. Edge, you're gonna fight him. Edge, you're gonna put him on one eye. Edge, you're gonna go in there, mess with Edge. You're gonna mess with Eddie Hearn, and you're gonna come back with one eye. You're gonna call you Cyclops Edge.
Did Bob?
What about Jalen Love?
Order in the house. Order in the house. Go on.
Order in the court,
Love, though.
Let's have some order, please.
Hey, man, everybody ganging up on Eddie, bro. Everybody fucking up over here. Al Heyman, I ain't give him no flack, but the truth of the matter is he had a lineal champion for 5 years that was 37, 38, 39, 40, fighting one time a year versus bigger fighters. That dude ended up in a coma. So we ain't gonna just talk like everybody's cool.
Is that Stevenson or Yvonne Michelle, the promoter? No. Is that Yvonne Michelle, the promoter, or that's
it's an Al Heyman guy? You advised by Al Heyman, the man. Yvonne Michelle deferred to Al Heyman.
Okay, I think it goes back to my point. Who took the fight, Stevenson or the manager?
I'm just saying, to take the fight. Al Heyman.
Okay,
I get you. I'm not arguing with you. I'm arguing against the point that it's like, oh, Eddie Hearn and nobody. Nah, all of these dudes are some fucking money hungry.
Well, I agree with you on that. I'm just saying, like I say, I agree with you. I'm just saying that what I've seen, yes.
No. One minute. No. Hold up. No. Let's go back to that. So low place, yeah. You're saying in that fight where he hurt that guy, Vostok or whatever his name is. So that you're saying that was a mismatch. Is that what you're telling us?
No, I'm telling you.
So if you're not saying it's a mismatch, what the hell are you talking about? We're talking about mismatches, bro. We're talking about mismatches. We're talking about mismatches, right? Mismatches. Yeah, Adonis Stevenson was the champion, bro. So you talking about, bro? You're talking about mismatch. You're talking about after the fight. Adonis Stevenson was in that fight. Adonis Stevenson was in that fight, bro. That was a competitive fight. What are you talking about, bro? You're talking nonsense. Adonis Stevenson was a long reigning champion, right? It's just the younger guy beat him. He should have caught it, bro. That's where it was. That's what that was. And what happened to him after could happen to anyone. Blaming Al Heyman for? Why are you blaming Al Heyman for? Why are you gonna blame Al Heyman for that, bro? You're out of order. That's out of order. You're the one pushing Adonis Stevenson curse. You went, you know what? He would have went against, Koloff, yeah, and that could happen to him against Koloff. And you was pushing that one Adonis Stevenson curse. Yo, get out of here already, man. With that bullshit. I don't hear that bullshit.
I didn't say anything about Vostok. I said he came off a year layoff versus a younger, fresher Badu Jack who had been more active. That's what I said.
Okay,
but
it was nice, bro. Yo, you know what? Give me joking. That guy never fought no level apart. Adonis Stevenson was that dude, bro. He was that dude. You had him. You had him pound for pound at the top of your rank. Yo, you had him pound for pound number one, right? You're in pound for pound number one, right? So what you talking about? I'm talking about mismatches. You ain't listening to what I'm trying to say to you, bro. Man, I'm talking about guys. No, hold up. I'm talking about guys going. No, listen. I'm talking about guys going in there against the champion when they're not ready. Not the other way around, bro. Not when they're old. Not when they're old, they don't deserve it, bro. That's what I'm talking. You ain't listening, bro.
What you're talking is not making no sense, man. You're not making
because your brain can't comprehend, bro. Because you know you haven't got a boxing brain, you can't comprehend. Yeah, because you haven't got a boxing brain to comprehend what I'm saying to you. What I'm trying to say to you, Eddie Hearn has hurt a lot of fighters. Pure and simple. I'm pointing them out. I'm pointing them out. Are you not listening? Eddie Hearn has hurt a lot of fighters. Are you? Because you're not listening. Because you're not listening.
Let me answer you. Let me answer you.
You don't understand. You don't. You know what your brain. Hey, you got Eddie Hearn in your ears. You can't hear what I'm saying to you. I pointed out how many fighters he's hurt. How many fighters he's hurt, and you're not listening. You in low place, yeah. You in low place are biased. Are biased to the point that you can't even hear yourself.
You're biased against Eddie Hearn. You're biased against Eddie Hearn. You're Eddie Hearn biased.
Didn't Heyman send Khan to Canelo though? Come on now.
Yeah.
No. So let me answer.
Exactly. What mismatch? Khan sent to Canelo.
Devontae Tank's whole career is a bunch of mismatch fights.
Yeah, we all know that.
Yeah. What about Adrian Broner? What about Adrian Broner and Manny Pacquiao? Was that not a mismatch?
No, it wasn't.
Adrian Broner?
Yeah,
That wasn't a mismatch. Everyone did.
Paper wasn't a mismatch. It was not on paper.
Ox Broner is a mismatch. Ox Broner and Blue Blood. Ox Broner and Blue Blood. Ox Broner and the LDBC was as a mismatch. Ox Broner and the LDBC was a mismatch. Ask them.
Why are you bringing the LBDC or CD for?
No.
I'm saying to you, ask them. They don't think it was a mismatch. They thought Broner won. That's what I'm trying to tell you. They put Broner one, right? Okay, then. Okay. Mismatches, bro.
Let me ask you something. Based on your logic, did Bob Aaron ruin Lomachenko?
Bias, hold up. I'm biased. You know what? First of all, you being a Lomachenko, that's a different story. Lomachenko has 400 amateur fights, and he fought in the World Series of Boxing.
Luke Campbell was a good amateur, too.
Okay, that's fine. How many amateur fights did he have compared to Lomachenko? How many did he have?
I don't know the comparison.
Okay, thank you. Okay, thank you. But anyways, back to my point. My point is that on paper, Broner versus Pacquiao was not a mismatch. Of course, when we saw the result of the fight, it was a mismatch. Yeah, okay.
On paper, we all thought it was.
Okay, guys. Yeah. Looking at the chat, they're saying like we need some control and order in this moderation. Everyone's tilting all over each other.
All right.
Calm it down.
Okay, that's fine.
And everyone has to like say their piece. And that's it.
All right,
EJ's
let me say my piece real quick.
EJ's invading the chat as well. It's on the thing.
Hey, did Luke Campbell win a gold medal?
No. Let me say my piece. Hold up. Let me say my piece. Edgeno, you believe that Eddie Hearn has not ruined more fighters than PBC, right? Al Heyman, correct? That's your theory. That's your philosophy, right?
I say
that's what you believe.
Let me explain to you what I class as ruined fighters. Like, I believe that Eddie Hearn has been Eddie Hearn. What ruined fighters is that you're not giving the fighters the opportunity to fight for world heavyweight for world championship belts. You're putting them in.
That's partially true. I agree with that.
You're putting them in too soon. I believe that when you sign with Eddie Hearn says, "Look, I'm gonna give you the opportunities. You're gonna fight at your own pace. If there's an opportunity for a world heavyweight championship, my job is to present you the opportunities." Now, let me tell you the difference between the fighters. Now, there's Anthony Yard who's with Frank Warren. Yeah, right. He's been offered light heavyweight title fights already. But his team has said, no, I'm not ready for it yet. I'm going to continue on fighting whoever I'm fighting until I'm ready to fight, and I'll take the fight. But Frank Warren's job is to give you the opportunities. His job, he can't not offer the opportunity to him and not give him the chance to say yes or no. Do you know what I mean?
Right. I agree.
So with Eddie Hearn's job is to get you to a position where you can challenge for a world title, and then it's up to you whether if you decide yes and your team says yes, and if you lose, then that's down to you to do on the pitch. Then you know that you fired enough, you wasn't ready. The same thing with Cheeseman. Cheeseman for what's his name? Garcia. Now that was for a European level.
Yo, you see, you run yourself right into a roadblock there. That is perfect. Perfect.
Let me finish.
That is perfect.
Let me finish.
Bro, you know what? You know my sticky got? You know my sticky got? Bro, he nearly got Cheeseman killed. He nearly got Cheeseman killed by that European guy. That guy was not ready. How you gonna beat Adonis thingy? What's that guy? He was like Southern Area champion. I didn't say Byfield. He wasn't even British champion, and then you strike from Southern Area champion, and then you go all the way up, into European level. He nearly got Cheeseman killed on TV. Go ahead, Edge. Go ahead.
Man. Look, I don't want to mute you from the chat, man. I'm trying to avoid that button. But look, at the end of the day, yeah, all I'm saying is that with Cheeseman, in regards to Cheeseman, I said that he's been given the opportunity to fight for a European belt. It's down to him and their team to say, and that's not even world level. Let's remember this. It's not world level. This is just European level. Do you know what I mean?
Right.
So when you're blowing out people at domestic level, 1 round, 2 round, 3 round, sooner or later, we're going to say, fair enough. We're going to see if you're good at the European level. And then that's when, and then he gave him opportunity. Look, you got a chance to fight at European level now. And then it's up to Cheeseman and the team to say yes or no. Lewis Ritson was the same. Lewis Ritson was blowing out people 1 or 2 rounds at domestic level.
Right.
And he was blowing out people at domestic level. And he won the British title. And so he said, fine, let's move up to European level. And let's get this straight. That European level dude was no world beater. He ain't going to be winning a world title anytime soon. Do you know what I mean? So he's not a killer.
Right.
Well, yes, he will. Yes, he will.
Well, can I respond to that? Can I respond to that?
Will. Yes, he will. You know, you don't know that. You don't know that. That guy's good enough. That guy's good enough. If you put him in the right place, he can. You're hating. You know, give me good about Cheeseman. Yeah, that was a good one. What you did about Cheeseman. Cheeseman nearly got killed out there on TV. It was horrible. And Eddie Hearn set him up, bro. This is what I'm talking about. And you stay there. You stay there. Keep defending that guy, and you see what he be doing that. Edge, that's ridiculous.
Well, you know, Edge, to this point though, Edge, don't you think it's kind of like Eddie is someone he has to have developed some type of consciousness? Say, you know what, I do have to present this opportunity to my fighter. Whether I know he's going to say yes, but I got to talk him out of it.
Well, can I just ask everybody?
No, that's not his job. His job is his trainer and his manager. It's his trainer and manager's job to do that. The trainer is like what's his name? Adam.
Okay,
Booth.
wait, that's Eddie. Wait. Eddie, that's a. Every still like watching those guys spar. He should know those fighters what their abilities are.
Yes,
he watches them all the time. Why can't he have input?
No, he doesn't. He doesn't because he's got how many fighters on his books? It's like trying to tell Al Heyman to watch every single fight.
Why not? No, Bob Aaron does it all the time. Aaron does.
Man, he's
that all the time. Top rank. He's got hundreds of fighters.
No. But you have to understand. You have to understand this. When you are a coach of a fighter, and like Adam Booth with Josh Kelly, for example, Josh Kelly, he will go. Look, you can fight Avavisian, whatever his name is. I think you should take it, or I think you shouldn't take it. He does it all the time. He said to Joshua, I don't think you should fight Martin just yet. Continue fighting. Joshua said, no, I want to fight him. When he fought Klitschko, Eddie Hearn said, I don't think you should fight Klitschko right now. You don't need to fight him. You're world champion. Continue building on, and you can fight maybe him down the line. AJ said, no, I'm going to fight him. His trainer said, no, I'm going to fight him. When, what was it? Mikey Garcia says, I want to fight Errol Spence. Everybody said no. Yeah. His family said no. His coach said no. Everybody said no, but he said, no, I want to fight Errol Spence. So then the fight gets done. Al Heyman and all those guys can give you advice, but it's down to your trainer, your manager, and the fighter.
Yeah, your fighter. Yeah, that's true.
Fight. So if Garcia goes against Spence and Spence absolutely destroys him,
which he is.
Yeah, which he will do. then what are you gonna do? Say Al Heyman went and destroyed another fighter? Do you know what I mean? It's like you put responsibility on the fighters as well as the coaches. That's why I don't blame Al Heyman.
Well, that's my point. That's my point. That's my point. It's responsibility on both ends. It's not solely on the promoters or the managers. It's both sides. You know what I mean? So, I mean, the fighter's probably, he's overconfident in a way, and that's his fault because he's overconfident.
This is the issue that I have with everybody saying that. Look, like I said before, Lomachenko lost to Salido. He was a gold medalist, right? Luke Campbell, he was a gold medalist, right?
So how many amateur fights did he have compared to Lomachenko? I'm asking.
He was a gold medalist. AJ was a gold medalist too. AJ was a gold medalist, right?
Yeah, AJ only had 40 fights. He only had 40 amateur fights. What are you talking about?
He was a gold medalist.
AJ only had 40.
Hey, no, we fight on the chat.
So I'm just saying, in general,
no.
If you gold medalist anyway.
Duh, bro. See, this is your goal. You gotta stop reading too much of that gold medalist stuff. All right, anybody can get lucky and win a gold medalist in the Olympics. But let me tell you something. AJ only had 40 amateur fights compared to Lomachenko. Lomachenko competed in the World Series of Boxing, which is almost like amateur professional levels competition. All right, he's been in the block. He's fought every style that was there to fight. AJ didn't do that. So that's a major difference, bro. Major difference.
Exactly. And look how fast AJ stepped up too. So that's my whole point. You're making my point for me. Thank you. Well, so that's what I'm trying to say. Luke Campbell, a gold medalist who also believes in himself. And that's why he took a step up too. But he just happened to lose, just like Lomachenko did.
I gotta get up in there, man. Look, people gonna take it.
Bruh, it was kind of mute, but go ahead.
People are gonna take hella L's. Like, ain't nobody retiring out here perfect these days. Just about. Look, you can say Manny Pacquiao was thrown in there. Somebody look, that don't make no sense, bro. It's a fight. What is this? Protection City, or is this a sport? It's the sport. It's the sport of boxing. What you need to do is keep your fighters active. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. If they go back to the drawing board and they do so successful, they may get more credit.
Let me tell you, son. It's not that.
If they go back to the drawing board,
they put them in with bombs, bro.
Hold on. If they go back to the drawing board and they're unsuccessful,
low
then
place.
they have to go back again. Look, Adrian Broner should be protected from himself multiple times.
Low place. Adrian Broner is a full-weight champion. Low place. Low place. Hey, let's talk about Rocky from Stocky.
I didn't interrupt you.
You're right.
Let Low Place talk.
I ain't interrupt anybody. Look, the man simply the fighters gonna fight. They gonna take their L's. They gonna get injuries. These ain't pillow fights. These are fist fights. And these guys trained to do this shit. What your job is to do, if you're an advisor and a manager, you make deals, you keep them active. If you're not doing that, they likely gonna fire you anyway if they're capable of doing so. So everybody's doing their job, and just sport just ain't perfect. You ain't gonna get a piece of cake every day. It's gonna be some damn sunshine and rain, and some people gonna get more rain than sunshine. It is what it is.
And at the end of the day, people can say about Eddie Hearn with Kell Brook.
Yo, let me say this. Rocky from go ahead.
But people can say what they want about Eddie Hearn. Look, my issue is not about Eddie Hearn doing it. I'm just saying that what Eddie Hearn does with fighters putting people, they might be too soon or not. Every promoter
they are too soon.
The same thing. Every promoter does exactly the same
thing. No, they don't. Eddie Hearn's the worst. He's the worst ever. He's trying to kill people. Rocky, let me ask a question. Why did Rocky from Stocky? Who did Rocky from Stocky beat to fight Canelo? Who told me who he beat?
He was the champion.
He got paid. He got paid.
No, I didn't ask about money. I didn't ask about money. Low place. Ask the question.
What is about? You gotta get the man some money.
Why can't you answer the question? And you know what? I'm not answering low place because he ain't answered the question. Let me ask Edge, the man. Yeah, Edge. Who did like Rocky from Stocky beat to fight Canelo?
Okay, let me ask you a question because you asked me a question.
What are you doing? Why are you doing it? Why are you doing it? Do you answer the question? Are you answering my question? No, I'm not. Answer my question. I'll answer. No, we're not doing that. We're not doing that. We're not doing that. No, we're not doing that here. We're not doing that. We're not doing. I know it's your hangout, Edge. I respect your hangout, right? If you can't answer my question, just say I can't answer your question, EJ. Answer it for you. Who did it beat? I'll repeat the question again, right? Who did Rocky from Stocky beat to fight Canelo? Ask me that question.
Rocky Fielding is the WBA regular champion.
Cricket. You don't know the name. You're mentioning a belt, but you don't know the name. Who's the name, Edge? Edge. Answer the question. Who is the guy? Edge, I'm gonna say it again, Reg. You obviously you can't compare. See, you know what we have here, yeah? You know what we have here? We have a comprehension problem, yeah? I said to you, Edge, you have a comprehension problem. Who did he beat? Yeah, to get a fight shot at Canelo. Do you answer that question? Do you understand what I just said there? Who did he beat?
Tyron Suji.
No, don't answer that question because he's not making no sense. He moved up. Canelo moved up to 168 to fight Rocky Fielding's belt. He was the contender. Remember that. He's a contender. He ain't a champion at 168. Fielding was the champion. Canelo was fighting Fielding, not the opposite way round.
Yeah. Listen to what I say to you. Listen to what I'm saying to you, yeah? See, Rocky. All right, listen what I'm saying to you, yeah? See that belt, yeah? See that belt they were fighting for, yeah? Right? It was vacant, right? It was a vacant belt, right? So I'm saying this.
Fielding was the champion.
So Canelo was the real champion. So Rocky Fielding was the real champion?
No, he's the regular champion, not the super champion.
Oh, so I'm asking you, was he the real champion? I'm asking you again, who did he fight, yeah? To put himself in position so he could fight Canelo? Because at the time when he belt, they told him, if you win that belt, you're going to fight Canelo. Who did he fight to put himself in that position?
He's the champion. That's why he's in that position.
So you can't answer the question, Ed. You can't answer the question. And this is the problem. Ed. Your comprehension is not good. Your comprehension is not good. Your understanding of what I just said to you, your understanding of what I just said to you is this. You don't understand. I asked you a clear English question, right? And you cannot comprehend what I just said there.
No,
you could not answer the question. You got no comprehension skills, Edge. And that's the problem. When I ask you a question, all you're gonna say is no, I don't understand, Edge. Or you're gonna say, EJ, I don't understand. I don't know who he fought. I don't know who he fought. EJ, can you tell me? And that's all you have to say. But now you're saying I don't understand. You're not making sense. I don't understand. You're not making sense. You don't make no sense that what you're saying that you don't understand.
You're not making no sense.
All right, Edge.
Fielding is the champion. So why he is the champion? What do you mean who he has to beat? He's the champion. He can fight whoever he wants. Canelo is moving up. Canelo is moving up to fight Fielding.
What did he ruin?
Up to fight Fielding. Do you know what I mean?
Did he ruin Fielding's career or something? Was Fielding supposed to take off or something? What did he ruin? Like he got him a great payday. Like
that's what Fielding was always going to be
talking about, no matter what.
Fielding is the champion.
He was always going to be fooled.
All I'm gonna say, how many
was fighting for Fielding's belt?
How many starts
have purses? What was the purses in that fight?
How many starts has Al Heyman made from scratch? Can somebody answer that to me? Any takers? Anybody?
No. Heyman's made a lot of a lot of people got belts. Caleb
How many starts has he made in boxing? Can somebody answer that?
There ain't many stars in boxing, period.
No,
I mean, Oscar's only made one. You know,
how many has he made though?
I guess you could say Deontay Wilder did a pay-per-view. It's people. Errol Spence would be his first guy. He didn't need to make one because he had.
Let me address that point. Let me redress that point. Hold up. Let me address that Rocky Philly point. Edge, you and I both know that he didn't fight nobody to get that Canelo shot.
That doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is he's the champion.
First of all, let me finish. Second of all, that belt you're talking about, that's not the real WBA championship.
Who did James Kirkland fight to get it? Who cares?
But the reason why Canelo went and fight Rocky Fielding is because he is the champion and he moved up. So he is a contender.
Hold on. Ain't Al Heyman still with Amir Khan?
Who did Charlie?
Hold up. Heyman feeding Khan to Crawford?
No. That WBA belt was created by the WBA to create another sanction fee. Number one.
Yeah.
Who did Charlie?
It was an idea.
Who did Liam Smith beat?
Hold up. It was an idea that was created by Lennox Lewis to tell the WBA, say, look, you need to get another secondary champion here so they can fight off other mandatories. That's the reason why that belt was created. Okay. First of all, and thirdly, you cannot unify that belt with another unsanctioned body. You can't unify with that.
But that's not a mismatch, though. It's not a mismatch. It's not a mismatch.
No, exactly.
People after the fact, you can say it was a mismatch, but it wasn't a. But it wasn't a huge mismatch.
EJ's point. Was he ready for that title shot? I mean, that fight.
Hold on.
That's what I'm saying to you. EJ was whole point saying, "Oh, is he ready for a title shot?" That's the whole point. He was the champion.
No.
He was the champion.
Dan, can I ask you a question?
Was Rocky Philly ready for Canelo Alvarez? Was he ready for Canelo?
Can I ask you a question? Dan, can I ask you a question?
Canelo Alvarez, was he ready for that fight? Was he?
Dan.
I'm asking the question. Was he ready for that fight? Was he?
Who?
Be honest. Was he? No, he wasn't. Okay,
go ahead,
was
Canelo ready for Mayweather? Was Canelo ready for Mayweather? Was Canelo ready for Mayweather?
Dan.
Canelo ready for Mayweather?
What champion was Rocky?
See, you hear that? You hear Edge? Edge, you hear? Hey, Edge, you ask. Someone else asked you a question, and now you're talking something else. You see, Dan. You see what I'm saying to you, Dan? Dan, you see what I'm saying, Dan? You see what you're dealing with? You know what? I kept quiet there, yeah. I kept quiet, and I tried to show you something, and he's trying to say he didn't understand me. So when you talk to him, Dan, you talk to him in plain English and made him understand he was not ready for Canelo.
No,
that he should have been in there with Canelo. That's it. That's what we want to say. But you know what he's saying? You know what he did? You know what he did? You know what he does? You know what he's doing? He's moving the goalpost. You know why? Hey, Dan, he's moving the goalpost because he's not ready for that question. Instead of him admitting, what he's doing is moving the goalpost.
I'm proving my point.
I think y'all not admitting that everybody kicking through the same goalpost. Al Heyman kicking through the same goalpost.
Right.
That's the problem. Like Edge ain't moving it. It's more or less that y'all are saying.
No, he did.
Exactly.
He did
I'm
because
saying the
no. What he did, no, look,
Hold
what
on,
he did.
Dad. Can I make my point though?
I can make your point. I don't know what he did. He answered the question of the question.
You can name your name.
But we're going nowhere with the argument. The point is, everybody. No, Rocky Fielding wasn't ready. But who the fuck was he supposed to be? You mean to tell?
No, he was never going to be ready.
Amir Khan wasn't ready for Canelo, but Al Heyman said Amir
Oh,
Khan.
he was more ready than Rocky Fielding. He was more ready than Rocky
Fielding. He was more ready
for
into 2 years, mate. He got knocked out into next week. What are you talking about?
Everybody just screaming over everybody.
Oh, okay. Well, guess what? Amir Khan, who was a much smaller man, lasted longer than Rocky Fielding. Some people argue that he was beating Canelo before he got knocked out.
And they got him in there with Terrence Crawford.
Well, at least he wasn't out for 2 years after Amir Khan got knocked the hell out.
Hey, you see what I'm doing? Talk about Amir Khan. Now you're going to see instead of asking, he wasn't ready. You admit he wasn't ready, and now you shift the goalpost and you put Amir Khan. He lasted much longer. And you know why he lasted longer? You know why he lasted longer? Because Amir Khan's got pedigree. Amir Khan's got pedigree. No place should be in this conversation. No place you should be in this conversation. You don't understand. Amir Khan's pedigree. Amir Khan's got pedigree. Yeah, from the Olympics. That's why he lasted longer because of his pedigree.
Wait a minute.
Stop Rocky from Stocky. Rocky from Stocky. Rocky should never been in that fight. Rocky should never been in that fight. Eddie Hearn tried to kill him. Eddie Hearn had him killed. Eddie had him killed. So hold on, Amir Khan didn't last longer.
Oh, so
hold on. You mentioned Amir Khan, and you mentioned Amir Khan. And I'm telling you that Amir Khan was a lightweight. Amir Khan was a career lightweight, lasted longer than Rocky Stocky. That's what we know. That's what we do know. That's what we do know. Okay, against Canelo. That's what we do know. That's a fact. So I don't want you to talk about double standards, but you bring it up, you couldn't even answer the question. So now, hold on, you don't give me a joke, yeah? So now you could answer the question. Now you could answer the question, and now you change the goalpost. And you see what I'm dealing with here? You see what I'm dealing with? You see what I'm dealing with here? No, I don't understand you, Edge. Edge, I don't understand you. Edge, I don't understand you. I don't know what you're saying. I don't know what you're saying. I don't understand you. I don't understand you, Edge. I can't hear you. I don't understand you. All right,
you can't comprehend, EJ. EJ, you can't comprehend it. You're double standing your own self. You just said Kell Brook got killed by Triple G when he moved up 2 weight divisions. But all of a sudden now, Amir Khan got pedigree. But Kell Brook don't have no pedigree when he fought Triple G. So you're double standards, mate. Your double standards unbelievable, mate. Double standards.
Edge, though. Who had more pedigree, Amir Khan or Kell Brook?
Well, Kell Brook beat Porter.
They're both world champions. They're both world champions.
You guys are not answering the question directly. I'm asking you, does Kell Brook have more pedigree than did he have more pedigree than Amir Khan when he fought Golovkin? Did he? Yes or no?
What, Kell Brook was more informed than
Amir
Khan was? Okay. Wait. Listen up. Did Amir Khan was world champion at 147? Yes or no? Was he world champion at 147? Yes or no?
Oh, so what? He wasn't a world champion there, but
when was he world champion at 140, right? So he was at 147, and he moved up 2 weight divisions to fight Canelo. So what are you talking about pedigree? So where's the pedigree coming from? He was Kell Brook was world champion at 147. No. Kell Brook was world champion at 147.
Amir Khan has a better resume than Kell Brook. Has a better resume. Everyone knows that. What are you talking about? And he did win a belt. Hold on. He won a double BC silver belt. No, he won a double BC silver belt at welterweight. Hold up. He won a double BC silver belt at welterweight. He has a better. You can't answer. You see what you're dealing with here, yeah? He don't want to answer the question.
WBA
don't want to answer the question. He don't want to answer the question at all, bro. You know what I mean? He don't want to answer the question at all.
Dan, help me out here. Didn't he just say Phil's WBA regular belt wasn't important, but now he's saying the silver belt is important now? Do you know what I mean? He's changing the goalposts.
I can't hear nobody.
EJ, you're changing the goalposts.
I can't hear nobody, bro. I can't hear nobody.
Let me ask a question. So you're saying just because Amir Khan did not win a world belt at 147, that makes him not better than Kell Brook? Is that what you're doing?
No. I'm saying by Brady Prescott before that. Why are we even talking? Like, come on,
bro. Say how this, bro. This is between me and him. No, answer the question, bro. No, Edge, answer the question.
No, you guys are changing.
Let Dad answer the question. Answer the question, Edge. What Dan posed to you? Answer the question.
Edge. You said, wait, hold on. You proposed to me.
I'm biased. I'm biased. It's nothing to do with you. I'm biased. Let Dan answer the question.
No,
and let Edge answer the question.
Whose chat is this, man? It's my goddamn show, boy. Coming out here dictating shit.
Exactly.
DJ, man. At the end of the day, look, man, look. I don't want to have to throw people out of chats, yeah? But I mean, you have to have some little bit of decorum here.
Yeah, let's get some order. But let me ask you a question, Edge.
Everyone can have
but let me ask you this, bro. I hear you, bro. Let me ask this question. You just said that. Okay, let me ask you this, bro. You said that Kell Brook, he should be more significant than Amir Khan because he won a belt at 147. Are you telling us that Kell Brook is better fighter than Amir Khan because he won a belt at 147? Is that what you're telling us?
It's not about who's the better fighter. The point.
Who's the better fighter?
The whole point of this whole argument. No. The whole part of this whole argument is that people are saying that Eddie Hearn is putting unmatched fighters. That's the whole point.
Yes.
You're putting unmatched fighters. So what we're comparing is comparing one unmatched fighter, which is Kell Brook and Triple G, who went 2 weight divisions. Yeah. And
actually not Rocky Stocky. No, it was Rocky Stocky. No, it was Rocky. It was Rocky from Stocky. It actually was Rocky from Stocky.
I'm saying that
you never answered the question. Don't try it. You changed it. You changed the narrative.
I'm changing. You said let me and Dan the man talk.
Yeah, but you changed it. It was Rocky though. It was Rocky. So you trying it. You trying it. No way, it was Rocky. So don't try it.
You said things that Dan the man talk, yeah? So end of the day, the point I'm making is that both of them do exactly the same thing. That's the whole point I'm trying to make. So if Khan is better than Brook or whatever, it doesn't matter. The fact of the matter is who they were fighting. And both of those fights were mismatches. And that's the whole point I'm trying to make. Yeah, that's the whole point I'm trying to make. So anyways, we're going on this subject for too long. We're not going to agree. We'll agree to disagree. And the end of the day, everybody, the fact of the matter is, we've been talking about this subject way too long. Everybody does mismatch fights. Everybody does it. Yeah. Let's not pretend that Josito Lopez and Keith Thurman wasn't a mismatch. We all knew that was a mismatch fight. Yeah. So end of the day, Garcia fighting whoever he's fighting, that's a mismatch fight. We all know that. So let's not pretend that fighters don't do mismatches.
Hey, can I get a point in there before? Go ahead, unbiased.
Look at Ishe Smith's entire career, right? He's been horribly managed, right? I mean, the dude.
Why you bringing up Ishe Smith? What's the whole point of that?
Let him finish.
Stop there. All right. Hold up. Did he win a world title against Kenan Bundridge?
The man can't make a point.
Did he win a title? He won a world title against Kenan Bundridge. How was he horribly managed?
So did Rocky.
Man. EJ, you're not making no sense, man. You see, this is what EJ does, man.
Go ahead, unbiased. Finish your point, unbiased.
This is what EJ does, man.
Won a title?
He's
Rocky
changing
Fielding
the
won a title, right? Okay, then.
Who?
Rocky Fielding. He won a title, right?
Oh, that's not a real title. You can't compare that secondary belt. That's not a real title.
EJ just said Amir Khan won the silver belt at 147.
If y'all can't agree, I got a point I can make.
All right, go ahead.
Go on, Lopez. Say your point. Say your point.
These dudes y'all saying in these damn mismatches, it's smarter. They not gonna win titles, no way. They're going nowhere fucking fast. Exactly. So at the end of the day, they saying, okay, can I get paid $75,000 for this win? 7 different wins, 7 different wins. He can get under $100,000 for 7 different wins. That's in 3 damn years. Or he can go in the ring and get beat up for $650,000. He ain't got a hard decision to make, and as simple as that. You getting paid for your life to do this shit. And it ain't no mismatch. Everybody getting paid to do their job, and it's simple as
that. Yeah, exactly. Everybody does it. No one does it more than the others, and that's what I think of it at the end of the day. Yeah. So look. Anyway, speaking about deals and all that. Yeah. Triple G supposed to be on the verge of signing with the Zone for a lot of money. First fight, and then he's gonna fight Canelo Alvarez in 3, or maybe fight Andrade before. What do you guys think of that? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I guess we'll have to wait and see on that one, because I mean, it is reportedly right now, but usually that can be pushed back in a way. I mean, here's the thing: Abel Sanchez came out and had said an interview with, I think it was IFL or one of the outlets. I think it was second house, whoever it was. Before this news came out, he's hinted that Triple G is pretty much on his last leg. I mean, that's what Abel Sanchez is saying. He said, you know what?
He's not going for belts anymore. That's what he said.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, I was going to get to that point. Yeah, he did say he wasn't going to go for belts anymore. So he's pretty much just looking for big money fights. It's not about belts at this point. So not saying that Andrade's not a big fight, but I think he's going for maybe a one-off against Callum Smith, maybe, because that's a pretty decent money fight. You can fight Callum Smith.
Fight Bivol in Kazakhstan.
Well, is that a big fight?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, you know what? Speaking of Canelo, speaking of Bivol, speaking of Canelo, I'm not sure you guys heard the rumor. I'm sorry to drag this point to something else real quickly. Just real quickly, Canelo is rumored to go up to 175. He might be fighting Kovalev. You guys hear about that?
Yeah, I heard about that's not gonna happen. That dude is small enough as it is, mate. He ain't gonna be going up that division.
He ain't beating no damn Kovalev.
He didn't want to go to 168. The reason why he moved to 168 is because the trainer told him, and he was fighting Rocky Fielding. That's the reason why he moved to 168. But he ain't gonna fight. We didn't want to fight Callum Smith. That fight weren't happening.
Yeah.
So do you know what I mean? 160 is his division. He's too small. He's too small. Like he can't go 170. He can't go over that weight division.
Yeah, can Kovalev even make a catchweight? Because I know they're going to ask for a catchweight for that fight.
Yeah, he has to create his own division, 170 or something. I don't know, man. But
yeah, maybe 170. But Kovalev can't even barely make 175. So I'm not sure if he can even make 170 by that matter. Yeah, I'll tell you one thing: if he makes 170, Kovalev is a dead man. I'm gonna be real. That gives Canelo way too many advantages if that happens. If that's a catchweight fight, I'm favoring Canelo to win it. If it's not a catchweight fight, I'm definitely going for Kovalev if it gets to that point.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be surprised if that fight gets made. I mean, there's other fights that Canelo can do, which is a lot easier, and that than to do that. And if it goes down to, let's say, a catch weight, then I don't know if it's going to be for the belt or not. So I don't even know if it's even worth doing it. If it's
it is going to be for the belt because it will be for the belt because one, the WBO will sanction it. Obviously, number two, it is above the weight limit. It is above 168, so it will be for the belt.
Yeah, so I mean. Yeah, we'll see. You have to watch this space, but I doubt it will happen. I mean, he's fighting. I think it's gonna go down the route of he will fight Jacobs, and then he will fight Andrade
maybe
or Triple G. Yeah, I mean, those are the fights that if I was him, I'll be looking at rather than moving up to like 2 weight divisions and fighting people. At least 168, maybe you can do that, but that's a stretch. He's
175. Yeah, maybe that's a bit of a stretch.
I think it's 5'7" or something like 5'7", 5'8". I mean,
he's 5'8". Yeah,
he don't even have no interest in Canelo, right? Like, it just ain't no interest. The Jacobs fight ain't pushing me no way. Like, he's just not interesting, bro. It just
why isn't the Kovalev fight interesting to you? Don't you think that's an interesting fight if he ever to make it?
Man, like he ain't Canelo ain't hitting on shit. He ain't hitting on shit.
That's how I feel about Triple G, man. If he's like Triple G's not fighting Charlo or somebody new, I don't want to see the Canelo fight. I already seen it twice. And you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, I'm biased on this one, man. I mean, are we inclined to see a third fight? I mean, that's a toss up for me now. I'm not quite
I can't even understand his fucking language. I can't even understand what he's saying. So, like, how the fuck do I supposed to be? Like, I just don't care no more. Like, Danny Jacobs don't draw my interest. They pick him. Whatever. No, it's just another fight I ain't got paid for.
Yeah, I mean.
Well, I think the reason. Well, I was gonna say, Edge. I'm just gonna say, I think if Kovalev fight does get made, and if it's a catchweight, I think Canelo's gonna. Will that be played to his favor? Let me tell you why. Because we all know Kovalev struggles to make that weight. That's one. Number two, he doesn't like the body shots very well. He's very vulnerable down there, and Canelo is a very devastating body puncher. So that does play to his favor. So I mean, I'm just saying that.
I got a question: is Kovalev signed with ESPN or no?
I think it's a short-term deal. It's not a long-term deal. So I think when I mean short-term, he may have another fight on the contract, and then afterwards he can fight whoever. He's free to fight wherever he wants to fight.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, I don't think it's a long-term deal. But yeah, if anything, if it was a long-term, we would have heard something about that by now. So. It was just as of now, just a one-off fight that he had on ESPN because they bid for that fight. I think the Zone bid for that fight too, but they lost on the bid for that, on the purse bid for that. So
it seems like the Zone stay losing bids. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, they are. But like I said, I think
the first one was on HBO and they just won. They sold the rights to the rematch to ESPN.
Oh, okay. So it was not really a purse bid then.
Nah, they wouldn't mandate. It was a rematch clause.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. But yeah, I think it's a short term deal.
The deal that allegedly with Triple G is supposed to be I think it's a free fight deal where he fights.
Yeah, $60 million.
Yeah.
How much?
The first fight is going to be 20, and then the second fight is going to be 30 million if he fights Canelo. But also that's dependent on the results. So obviously, yes,
they're gonna lose their balls off.
Yeah,
they're gonna lose their balls off. That's all the zone doing. They losing.
Yeah, and
Yeah,
also,
that's.
and
I just
also,
don't. Yeah, that's here's the yeah. Here's the thing. I just don't think. I mean, look, it's okay. It shows that everybody you got all this cash, but there's no guarantee they're gonna make all this money back, man. This is why I have a problem with throwing all this cash out to all these fighters like this, man.
yeah, but
They need to be more wise. Yeah, in my opinion, they need
that's
to
how I
be
felt.
very. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
I was gonna say that's how I felt about ESPN when they signed Fury. Like who?
Oh, really?
But
Who's he gonna fight? Who's he gonna fight over there? That's gonna generate, all that money back. That's gonna be
that's
that.
true.
with the zone, the zone is part of their.
That AJ shit will take care of that in a snap. Him and AJ,
Wait,
Well,
like
yeah.
that for Triple G.
Wait. You think he's gonna fight on ESPN? You really think he's gonna do it?
Yeah, they can. They got to put their head in and do bit, but he not guaranteed. Fury money ain't guaranteed. Bob Arum shot that shit down. He said that nigga ain't guaranteed no 80 million. He shot that
Bob
shit.
Arum, well, Bob Arum's a no liar, so he can say what he wants to say just to draw attention away.
Yeah,
so
that fight deal was horrible that he offered for Wilder. 5 fights.
Yeah, ain't no way in hell that no fighter's gonna sign a contract if there's no guarantee money involved. So that is guaranteed. I don't give a damn what Bob Arum said.
If it's guaranteed, if you do certain things, incentives that cause guarantees. But yeah,
absolutely. Well, I mean, you get bonuses, yeah, but you do get some guaranteed money. Fuck all that. No fighter's gonna sign no contract, no guaranteed money.
Not no 80 million guaranteed. Not no 80 million.
Nah, that's some guaranteed money. I don't believe Bob Arum when he says that's not a guaranteed contract. That's bullshit. Unless he's saying it's no guarantee.
He ain't never made purses over $10 million. He ain't getting no 80. Hell no. Hell no.
It's gonna be.
Well, he did.
Bob Arum.
Go ahead.
Bob Arum did say that is not. I mean, depending on who he fights and results, then he could make at the end of his deal up to $100 million. So, that's dependent on results and who he fights, depending on whoever he gets that money or not. So, I doubt that they're going to give him all that money so he can fight bums all the way through his deal. I think it's going to be.
Oh, absolutely. I think what you mean by that, Edge, is that there are certain fights that's penciled in that contract that he must take to get that money.
Yeah.
So I see what you're saying.
So
it's kind of like it's somewhat of a guaranteed, but if you do this, then you get that money guaranteed.
Yeah, that's what it makes more sense, because if you're paying someone, let's say $100 million, you're not going to do that for him to be fighting bums, because you're not going to be making your money in your return. The zone is different, where they are a new launching platform, so they're investing a lot of money now to get the talent, because they need to overpay, because they're not as established as the other networks. But then after 3 to 4 years, you'll see them starting to pay people normal money like they would do. You're not going to see Canelo type deals down the line. They're doing it now because they had to do it, because there's no way, because they have to. With Heyman, he's established. With HBO, or not HBO, but with Showtime, they're established, and Fox and ESPN. So they've got advantages. It's like I don't know, football or whatever. It's
the zone to be putting on pay-per-views.
Well, let me ask you this. Yeah, I agree with Lo on that one. Let me just say some, Edge. Now, you have good businesses. You and I can see eye to eye on from a business standpoint, but you and I can agree what they're doing is short-term deal. But how long do you think they can keep up with this short-term plan? Because they're throwing out all this money like this, it could potentially backfire on them, because this U.S. market is not quite as healthy as they might anticipate it to be honest with you. So it can fluctuate. It can go up. It can go down. So how long do you think they can withstand this short-term plan that they're doing right now?
I think they've got a market in. I think they've got.
They're devising.
I think they've got a budget they have for a launch-up startup budget. So I think they've got a startup budget that they've put in place to get the properties that they wanted and the fighters that they wanted. I think that after a while, Al Heyman did it when he first started. He went out and overpaid at the beginning to make sure that he was established, because you had to do that, because you was fake. Because at the time, Heyman was against HBO.
He didn't pay no money, man. He spent other people's money. He never spent none. He didn't spend none. He never spent no one's money. He spent other people's money. Thingy Awada, he spent their money. He never spent a dime. He spent out their money, to put their thing on the air, and now he's getting it back. So go ahead. I'm listening.
That's a good point.
That's the point I'm making. You're emphasizing my point.
Well, that goes to my point, though. What I'm saying is that Heyman's plan his short-term plan is maybe 1 year. My question is, how long is his own? Because from the way it looks like it, their short-term plan can last up to 2-3 years, and that's not a good thing. That's my point.
Yeah.
That
I
could
mean,
be
like long term, we can't keep this sustained investment for longer term. But that's why I think is in short term. So that's why I think it's gonna, that's why I think it's good for now. They've got the fighters they need, but in the long term, it's not going to continue. They're going to hope that by the time, and also you have to remember that Eddie Hearn and all these guys, they signed young, talented fighters like the Ryan Garcias of the world. I don't know, what's his name? OJ3.
Rocky from Stocky. Young fighters from Rocky from Stocky. I know.
There's young, talented American fighters. And Mexican fighters that he signed.
Yeah.
So going down the line, these fighters, and you have to remember when PBC first started out, Keith Thurman wasn't a champion at the time. Errol Spence wasn't a champion at the time. You have to remember that. Yeah, there were still up and coming talents, but now PBC's established. Now they're world champions, and now they're more established. Do you know what I mean? So, and now you don't have to be spending
I know about that, man. They were on HBO first,
yeah, but they weren't champions. Keith Thurman wasn't a champion when he was
Adrian Broner was a champion. They were all champions. A lot of them were champions at the time. I'm talking about
Keith Thurman and
he wasn't. He wasn't. Broner was a champion.
Keith Thurman.
Errol Spence. No, you're right. Errol Spence. But Broner was a champion, and so was Danny Garcia. They were all champions, bro.
Yeah, Danny Garcia was a champion. But I'm talking about. But he was at 140. I'm talking about 147. I'm talking about 147.
No, they were still, but you said they weren't champions. I'm saying they were champions. They were champions.
No, I'm saying that they, as in Spence and Garcia, was not champions.
Thurman. You mean Thurman?
No, sorry.
No, Garcia was already. Garcia was already a champion.
Garcia was a champion.
Thurman and Spence was not champions at the time. Yeah, and that's the whole point I'm trying to make. So now they're champions. So down the line, they're hoping that the young talent that they've got.
Oh no! Let me go back. Let me think about that. No, hold on. He was a champion. I just remember he was, because you know what? He was a champion when he was Showtime. Yeah, Thurman. He won the Floyd Mayweather didn't want to fight him, and he vacated the belt, and then Thurman picked up. He was still fighting on HBO. He was still a champion. Thurman. Yeah, he was.
What are you talking about?
Yeah, he was. You said Thurman wasn't a champion. I'm trying to say he was.
He wasn't.
Yeah, he was. He got Floyd vacated the belt, and Thurman then became the champion. He was still fighting on the networks. He was still a champion.
Wait a minute.
He defended his belt against Leonard Bundu, bro. And he was saying to Floyd Mayweather, burn money.
He said when he vacated the belt.
Floyd vacated the belt. Vacated the belt, and then
he didn't fight for the belt. He didn't fight for the belt.
Nah, he didn't fight no one for the belt. They because he was next in line, so they handed it to him.
He was next in line, handed it to him, and he wasn't on PBC at the time. He wasn't.
He was on Showtime. It was HBO. Al Heyman moved over, and they all went on Showtime before the PBC. He was a champion on there first.
And he fought who?
He fought Leonard Bundu. His first defense was Leonard Bundu. Yeah, you don't know. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, I know. Go check. Go check, Edge. You don't know, Edge. I'm on the cutting edge. That's what you don't know. Some say you just there talking. They're talking about no.
It was Robert Guerrero. Yeah? Actually, it was Robert Guerrero. When he won.
Where was that, Edge? What was that? What channel was that, Edge?
2015. Robert Guerrero.
What channel was that, Edge?
That was on NBC. That was on NBC in the States.
Yeah.
That was part of
you know what, Edge? Hold up. I got you here. No, I got you in that one, because you see what it is. When he fought Thing, Floyd at the time, he was the champion.
Yeah, the interim belt.
Nah, but yeah, he became. They made him the champion, bro. When that time he was defending the belt, bro. Someone's gonna tell you.
It was interim champion.
Nah, but they handed it to him, bro.
Not when Leonard Bundu. They might have handed it to him after Leonard Bundu, but he was But when he fought Robert Guerrero, that's the first time he was a champion. And that was on.
Yeah, he won. Yeah, but that wasn't. Yeah,
that was on PBC.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Real quick, just to change the subject just a little bit. I'm not sure you touched upon this yet. How do you feel about?
I'm exposed.
Yeah,
I've been exposing Edge the whole night, but he gonna say I'm exposed. All right, go ahead. The whole night Edge was getting that work.
I just exposed you. You just said when he fought
Edge. Hold on, 1 minute. Hey, Edge, see your cousin, Edge. Tell your cousin in the chat, Obes, yeah, to jump on, yeah. Let's see what he goes. But I'm not gonna interrupt you, Obes. Let's see what you have to say, because you know what, you're in the chat trolling, yeah, but you don't want that work. The guy don't want that. Guy don't want that work, bro. He out here talking heavy.
Leave Bobs alone,
He
man.
out.
Leave Bobs alone.
Listen, Edge. I don't know where you find these. I don't know where you find these guys in the chat. The guy's cool though. Like, I ain't gonna lie to him, he's cool. But he out here talking greasy, bro. My man's talking smoke on my name every minute, bro. He don't want to come in. Yo, step into the terror zone. Yeah, keep him in the chat. Stay in the chat, bro.
Yeah, let me ask you a question. Abio, I know him, but he does talk a lot of shit. But he's still cool though. But anyways, Esno, just to say something. I'm not sure if you touched upon this yet, but how do you feel about ESPN shutting out, canceling Joshua and Miller, shutting them out for interview for media blitz? How do you feel about that?
Did it? Yeah, because I thought AJ was supposed to be on First Take. I remember that. Did that?
They canceled that. They canceled it. Yeah, the last minute they canceled it on her. They canceled it on Joshua and Miller. They were supposed to appear on First Take, and they were supposed to do a somewhat a face-to-face type of conference, kind of like somewhat similar to what Fury and Wilder did to promote their fight.
But
ESPN canceled.
I'm not to be honest with you, I'm not surprised, to be honest with you, because now they've got Tyson Fury. It makes sense. Like, why are you gonna promote another fighter? Like, do you know what I mean? Like, you know, you're gonna. It's same thing with let's say Wild. Like, it's not the same, because if Fury didn't sign with ESPN and then it was Wilder Fury 2, then it makes no sense for ESPN to promote in that fight and to advertise it, because it doesn't make no sense for them. Do you know what I mean?
Well, if it's a co-network promoted fight, yeah, it makes sense. But if it's not co-promoted, where Fury's fighting on Showtime, it makes no sense to have Wilder come on to First Take to do an interview. To promote. Exactly. Right. I see what you're saying.
And that's why AJ with the DAZN, it's got nothing to do with ESPN, so it makes no sense. Sky Sports do that all the time in the UK. Sky Sports do that. If it's not to do with Sky, they're not going to promote it. Do you know what I mean? They won't promote you. You're not going to go on. It's like James DeGale versus Chris Eubank Jr. It wasn't shown on Sky Sports at all. Sky Sports didn't. You wouldn't even have known it existed. Do you know what I mean? If you didn't see it. So that's why I'm surprised. That's why I was surprised when ESPN was promoting Canelo and all that, and ESPN. That's very good that they do that, but I'm not surprised that they don't that they're not bringing on Joshua, because it doesn't make no sense for them. It doesn't make no sense. You know, the only way.
Yeah, you can bring him on if there's no fights going on. You can interview him, have a one-off interview, but you know, obviously, you cannot bring him on if he's trying to promote a fight. That has nothing to do with the network. Now that you got a heavyweight like Tyson Fury, and to me, I think that Frank Warren and Bob Arum has something to do with that cancellation. I mean, it is business, but it's fucked up. I know they keep alluding to John Skipper being the former head of ESPN and him and his drug use, but I don't think it had nothing to do with it. I think it's more that Bob Arum and Frank Warren.
I don't think they do that. I don't think. What you talking about? What them lot didn't get on ESPN? Joshua was on ESPN. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, he was supposed to be on ESPN. Him and Miller were supposed to be on ESPN to promote their fight, but they got canceled on the 11th hour, the last minute. They were like en route to the studio, and then they got canceled on. So ESPN had to say no. We have to cancel. I couldn't. The thing is, I did say already. Look at the words, yeah. This is when they was in America, right? Look at the vulgarity that coming out of that mouth. I don't think they. This is what I was trying to say about the corporate stuff. I don't think they wanted that on their channel, bro. Because you see, with Miller at that point, yeah, you didn't know what madness he was going to come in. Because if you look at the stuff he was saying and the way he was conducting, they looked at that, yeah. And this is just before they came, and I looked at it, I said, we don't want that on our chat. We don't want that on our network. We don't want that on the network. Now Joshua, we're cool with, but Miller. Nah, we don't need that. That's not what we're promoting. If they conduct themselves, this is what I'm trying to say to you. This is what I'm trying to say from the whole, yeah. If they conducted themselves appropriately, then yeah, fine. But bro, they're not gonna bring that type of drama to their channel. I'm gonna say, why did you invite them? So I think they did the right thing on cancel it, because I wouldn't bring Miller nowhere near me. He's vulgarity. I mean, I knew the press conference was today. I wasn't looking to go down there. I don't want to put people like that. Well, let me ask you this, EJ, to put you on the spot a little bit. To be fair, you know, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder had so much vulgarity when they promoted their fight, and they were still able to come on.
I didn't go. Yeah, that's why I didn't go.
All right. Well,
I'm very consistent. I don't like stuff like that. I really don't. I don't like that. I don't like that.
Hey guys, quick thing. Yeah, I'm gonna shut down the show in a second, so we're gonna continue the debate on another day. But if you guys got any final words,
Yeah, I go for. I was trolling Eddie Hearn. He's great for British boxing, but like I'm just making a point. Yeah.
Hey, you mother, making me argue with you all this time.
Yeah, of course I was trolling. But what I'm saying is, I admit I was trolling. But listen to this, right? Listen to this. Eddie does great thing for boxing, but you see what it is, yeah. When I touch you, when I attack Eddie Hearn, if you want to get Edge up Edge's nose, attack Eddie Hearn and watch how his nostrils flare up, bro. Right? Hey, it's great having over. I appreciate Edge coming on. It was a great show, low place. Dan the man, it's all love, yeah. End of the day, yeah, like in it. But I'm telling you, Edge is easy to go. Go at Eddie Hearn and you'll see what happens, bro. I'll make a show, bro. Go ahead.
Yeah, man. Hey, do you know what, man? Thanks, EJ, for coming on. Thanks, Dan the man, for coming on. Everybody else, Low Place,
thank you, man.
Unrivaled, Phil, everyone that's coming on. And thanks for everybody who's on the chatting as well. I hope you liked the show. If you've listened to it for the first time, I apologize for EJ's trolling in advance. You know, he does that sometimes, but it's all good. And Aobs, don't worry about EJ. EJ's cool, man. I might do a live show with you and EJ going live debating one-on-one. I'll be the promoter. I'll be better than Eddie Hearn. That's one thing I'll say. So yeah, Hammed92, thanks, and everybody in the chat that's joined for the first time. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Anything else you want me to talk about, let me know. I'm going to talk about it. And I'm going to do another show on Thursday. So keep tuned. It's going to be on all my social media. And take care, guys. Until next time. Peace.